first thing to do is test audio. And I need to hear what everybody in the stream can hear. There we go. Okay. I sound pretty good. Tom, say something?
We have 7 beers today.
No, we don't.
The person who asked. I'm going to open 7 beers. How's my level? All right.
Gonna pot Tom down a little bit, just a little tad.
Well, I'm sitting pretty close. I can say
Potting Tom just a little bit down, and also with these mics coming through the the mixer over there, they're plenty hot, so we don't have to. I have to thank their a fan whose name escapes you right now was so kind to give us these microphones, and we don't have to have proper mic technique with them. We can just talk. All right, so welcome to Beer Reviews. I'm Brian. This is Tom, and since we last hung out, we use our real names now, and I'm sitting in Nick's chair today. So we got a picture-in-picture going on here, so we can show you the beers by just holding them right in front of the computer to get you an idea of what's going on. So to introduce Tom, he is Dr. Tom Mansell, PhD from Iowa State University, also a longtime friend of mine by way of also Cornell University and Johns Hopkins University. Published, yes?
Oh, yeah. But not in the beer world. My beer cred is that I'm a BJCP judge. And I drink a lot of beer.
BJCP stands for?
The Beer Judge Certification Program.
Is Matt Carlton certified too now?
Mm-hmm.
Man, if all 3 of us were here, that'd be fun. So we're here to answer your beer questions. I'll probably talk about cars a little bit. But let's get right into it. Do you have an order you want to start with?
Well, let's see. Usually I go light to dark.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I have first is, let's do the Flying Dog. I try to do regular stuff. I try to do stuff that's kind of local to PA.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is not local to PA. It's from Maryland. It's Flying Dog.
Yep.
And this particular Flying Dog is an Imperial Pilsner called Family Drama. Perfect for the holidays.
Yeah.
So by Imperial Pilsner, I guess it means...
Person in chat says Flying Dog, Frederick, Maryland.
Frederick, yes. So, when you see Imperial, it generally means big, right? So this is a little bit higher alcohol than a Pilsner, so we'll see what they do with it.
Usually crappiest rednecky shirt under this.
Ooh.
I feel weird. I gotta be... favorite beer song. The one from Bare Naked Ladies that's just called Alcohol. Yeah.
Alcohol,
my favorite accessory.
I love you more than I did
the week before.
I discovered alcohol. All right.
Oh, alcohol, would you please forgive me? Well, I cannot love dark songs. Like fun, but while I cannot love myself, I'll love something else.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Cheers.
So this is Flying Dog Imperial Pilsner. Hold it up here again. A lot of kind of old world hops on the aroma. That's probably going to annoy a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it is maltier than a normal Pilsner, but it still has quite a bit of hop, so it is pretty crisp. It's actually a really good take on this, because often an Imperial Pilsner can be like super malty and have not very much hops in it, but it has a lot of bitterness and a lot of hops to make it crisp. So it's kind of like a kicked up German Pilsner. Wow, that's pretty great.
It is 8.4%. How much really does alcohol when it comes to beer? How much does alcohol content, affect the taste? I know I'm kind of my head is getting chopped off here by this microphone stand.
It's 8.4.
Yeah.
So, what does alcohol content do? I mean, it's going to give you, at very high levels, it'll give you like a burning sensation, like a solventy character.
Yeah.
But when it can intensify bitterness too. So higher alcohol beers will have more bitterness. But generally in beer, what happens is that higher alcohol generally correlates with a higher malt bill. So what you get is you get more fermentable sugar, so you get more fermented alcohol, but you also get more non-fermentable sugars that come along. So beers that are higher in alcohol are generally more sweet, because when you're making beer, you often bring along a lot of complex non-fermentable sugars when you increase the maltiness.
Oh, okay. One of my favorite beers, I think we had it before, the Golden Monkey. That is sweet. Well, for, I guess, a craft beer from beginning to end. See, for those of you watching, like when I do these, when I do these beer things with Tom, this is me just being barely in my element because I don't know the vocabulary to talk about these sort of things. There is a beer podcast, if you're ever in LA, that's just called Beer Snob. I know the guy, and he's also a guy who crosses over into the car world. His name's Jeff Glucker, and he does this big beer podcast.
So, I should get a life. It's not a malty mess. It's got a lot of hops to it and a lot of bitterness. If you buy this in a couple of months, it might be a little different. But I believe it's a holiday release. It says optimal by 4/22/18, so it must have been bottled fairly recently. And if you're a Golden Monkey fan, by the way, we do have a little riff on Golden Monkey coming up, called Sour Monkey. So, Brian, Mr. Regular is going to like that because he has a good story about Golden Monkey. But yeah, and in general, this is really good. I thought this was going to be a malty mess, but it's not. It's got a lot of old world hop background and bitterness, and so it actually goes down pretty crisp for the amount of alcohol that it is.
I need a hat to match yours.
I'm wearing this hat because I'm bald. And
well, and
lots
I am
of people.
balding, so
somebody said you should get Bell's Hop Slam. I agree, although can you get Bell's in Pennsylvania? I don't have
there's this place?
Yes, because I just had the Christmas sale. Yeah.
Oh.
So Hop Slam is very good. But in recent years, it's not been as good as it has been. I don't know if that's like my palate has matured or the beer has changed in quality, but yeah, right.
I'm looking for well.
Actually, is wearing pajamas.
I am wearing pajamas. Yes, I'm going to bed after this.
I'm wearing a beer sweater that says, well, I can't. My mom got this for me for Christmas. So, there you go.
There we go. If I have the mic stand way back here, should be good. Not cut my face off. This is good pod, making changes on the fly.
Good pod. So yeah, Flying Dog is like not, whoever was like excited about repping Flying Dog. Flying Dog's not my favorite, but this one's very good. It's a pretty good example of, it does what it says. It's Imperial Pilsner. Well, just, is this yours? You have your own glass.
Mine is.
Yours is here.
Yeah. tell you what, these mics, there is no way.
Schwartz is tangled.
Oh, if I do it sideways, then that'll work. That's so
P.
sick.
Skadberg, that makes sense. Also, I have like a lot of testosterone because I'm like super strong and everything. So like that's why it makes my hair fall out, and why I'll probably have prostate cancer someday. Greetings from Argentina. Feliz Año Nuevo, Argentina.
Have you guys ever been to Union Barrel Works in Reamstown, PA? They have Woodley Bob. It is really good. They have good food as well. I haven't heard of Union Barrel.
You get bonus beer. Oh, Chenny! Hi, Chenny!
Chenny.
Chenny says, what's your go-to beer these days? My house beer... like if I have a lot of people coming over, I'll get Grain Belt because I live in Iowa now. I'll get Grain Belt, which is like the local yellow beer.
That's the cold yellow. I apologize to everybody who's hearing me mess with my microphone stand.
A hot brown and a cold yellow.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not a very good beer. It's just a beer that I drink sometimes. But there's a lot of great craft in Iowa, actually. So yeah, Flying Dog, very good. Out punching above their weight with this one, I would say. Not that they're bad, but they're okay. So that's a Pilsner.
Would you do regular wine reviews? That could be disastrous. You'd have to break it down to like no more than 3, or like have a whole bunch of little glasses.
Yeah. Or a lot of people.
The thing that's
have people over later.
Yeah.
To drink the wine.
Yeah. The thing about podcasts, when you introduce alcohol into the mix, they very quickly become everybody's talking.
You've probably seen regular beer reviews before.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it got disastrous on the end. And now I'm cold and I want my Homestar Runner jacket again. I am a massive indecisiveness.
While he's doing that, I'm going to pull out another beer here. Thank you for the offer. I think we can get Hop Slam in Pennsylvania. I know I can get it in Iowa. On tap, I've had it a couple of times, and it's great. So the next beer, while Mr. Regular is sorting out his body temperature, is Four Peaks is very good. I've had some of those. This one is from... well, I had it in Colorado. I believe they're in Wyoming. Yeah. But this is kind of a culty beer out of Wyoming that's just getting some distro now. It's called Melvin. And this is the 2x4. It's a double IPA. And this beer won, I don't know if you're familiar with GABF and nerdy stuff, but this won Alpha King, which is like kind of a side competition at the GABF. I think like 3 out of 4 years. This beer, or Melvin, the brewery, I'm not sure if it was 2x4 every time, but this was they just started a couple of years ago, and they've kind of set the beer world on fire with this. So this I got in New England. I don't know if you can get it here in PA, but it's, again, Melvin Brewing. They're out of Wyoming, a lot of distro in Colorado. There you go. So 2x4 is their flagship. They have a 4x8, which is a triple IPA. I would only drink one of those. But here we go with 2x4. It's a double IPA, and it's going to be very hoppy, probably.
Nicholas Benjamin said, "Have you ever had Labatt Blue from Canada?"
Brew.
Gross enough. That, I remember that, where...
We took a trip to Toronto when we were 19. And we drank a lot of Labatt Blue legally
in Canada.
We stayed at a Hojo in Scarborough, Ontario, and we shared a hot tub with some dude that was just there.
Terry?
Yeah, Terry, if you're listening. Was it was a pleasure sharing a hot tub with you at Scarborough in, when was that? 2001 or 2?
It was the summer. Yeah, it would. Yeah, because if we were 19, that would have been the summer between.
You were 19. I was actually 18. That was not legal. They didn't card me.
Served everywhere. Like, no one cared.
Yeah. Oh, baby. Sweet dankitude.
This is the beer you give to somebody and they say, "Is this skunked?" I think this beer's skunked.
If you gave it to my dad, yeah, he would say that. But all of it, like the word that comes to mind is dank. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of grassy marijuana-y hops there.
What kind of hops in the chat says it's not a real beer party if PBR isn't here. And I remember when you were going to school up in Ithaca, New York, the price of PBR went up. It was like a hipster tax.
Yes. Except at bars that'll serve you $2 PBR at any tall boy at any time. But actually, in Iowa, they like Busch Light. In fact, there are stories about, so Iowa State just went to the Memphis and the Liberty Bowl, and we won. And they said they said that they drank out all, like, a bunch of bars were completely out of Busch Light in Memphis. They just drank all the Busch Light there was in Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know why they do that, but anyway, somebody said Ithaca chiming in. Yes, I went to Cornell. Have you heard of it? That's what I always say.
Guy in the channel says, "Is there an open container laws in Pennsylvania?" Indeed, there is.
Most definitely.
Container laws.
There's a lot of drunk driving.
That's what you walk along a country road in Pennsylvania. You'll see beer cans along the side of the road because when you finish it, you have to get rid of it. And when I went to Jacksonville, Florida for Christmas, and when my Aunt Cindy picked me up from the airport, she said, "I have some drinks for the ride." And she had a cooler.
Like you do.
And she had a soda or a Yingling. And I looked at him like, "What are you doing with a Yingling here?" And I'm like, "Oh, wait, this is Florida. Passengers can drink while you cruise along."
Yeah, and of course, in the South, they're a little bit more...
Republic?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I don't know what hops they use in this, but there's a lot of West Coasty stuff. And so this clone recipe says they use Simcoe, Warrior, and Citra, which makes sense. There's a good mix of kind of tropical and pine sol, not pine sol, but West Coast piney.
Who did
you can keep it on you? They're not here to see me.
Who did you recognize in the chat a few minutes ago?
Oh, that's my friend Chenny from grad school.
Oh,
yeah, I went to grad school at Cornell. So,
hi, Jenny. I've never filmed in Cornell, but I've driven there many times, and there's some Ithaca jokes.
You've done a couple power hours there.
I don't think I have that in me again, but yeah, that was that was good times. The key to a power hour is a good mix, a really good mix, and to time it, you have to put Bon Jovi somewhere at the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, you need a reboot.
Yeah,
you need a boot, then reboot.
Yeah.
See what I did there? It's a vomit joke.
The light on the laptop camera is meh. Well, yeah, because there is none.
Let's see.
I wonder if I can adjust this.
Oh, this is awesome.
While I do it. I'll bet I can.
If you break it. How many people from Scarborough and what do you drive? Canada representing here. Regular 40-ounce reviews. Oh, the person asked about New Glarus. Spotted Cow is very good. It's a great cream ale. Some of the stuff, I think, because it's just sold in Wisconsin, it can be a little inflated in its like your perception of it. Because if you have to go to goddamn Wisconsin to get it, you're like, oh wow, this is great. I drove all this way, and I'm in Wisconsin now, and I'm drinking a Spotted Cow. But there are some New Glarus beers that are really good. There's a raspberry one I really like, which the name escapes me. Raspberry Tart, I think. That's really good. And they're solid, but they're not. I wouldn't go to Wisconsin from Iowa to get them.
Oh wow, we can have lots and lots of we can properly get the lower camera to be as bright as the right, but it does it by knocking the frame rate down.
Let's see. Hawaiian craft beers. I've only ever had Kona, and that does not count, I don't think. Like the Fire Rock and the whatever Shark Cloaca. That one's good. A little fishy. I don't know of any other Hawaiian. I have a friend who lives in Hawaii, and she says there is a brewery. She lives on Maui, I think, and that's there's a craft brewery there, but obviously don't have very good distro to the upper 48. So, let's see. Let's talk about this Melvin a little more. There's like a, yeah. I highly recommend this if you can find it. It's if you're a trophy collector, this one's a good trophy. I don't know what its beer advocate rating is, but I would guess it's probably above 95 just because of its its reputation. So no more. Oh, you're still working on that.
Yeah, I know, because I've been messing with this. Now it's all dark again. Brightness.
Okay.
Auto.
Let's take some more questions here.
Thank you for
being... We had Trillium? Yes. Trillium, yes. Treehouse, no. Lots of New England IPAs. My wife's family lives in New England, so I just had a whole bunch. Chenny likes Philly. I like Philly too. That's where I had my bachelor party. I actually passed out at Victory because I was finishing my thesis. And so I was up all night doing that, and then we went golfing at like 8 a.m. And so by the time we got to Victory, which was like the 4th brew pub of the day, I fell asleep. But I rallied, and we went to Iron Hill, and where else did we go? Victory, Iron Hill, Sly Fox. Sly Fox is a very good one there in Philly area. I think that's in Downingtown. Yeah. Have I been to Three Floyds? Yes, it's awesome. Except don't take your kid there. I brought my 3-year-old there, and they were playing MTV's Liquid Television on all of the TVs. It's like a metal brewery. It's like, and so if you go, there's very loud metal music, and it's Liquid Television. Someone was getting like dismembered, and Molly's just like staring at the TV like. So they went to the playground across the street, and I ate a hamburger by myself. And I had a lot of beer, and I traded him. Actually, I traded some Toppling Goliath with the bartender for some Three Floyds beer. I was like, do you guys get Toppling Goliath out here? And he's like, no, man, you got it? I was like, yeah, I got a whole bunch in my car. So I traded like 2 or 3 beers for some free beer at the bar. Yeah, Three Floyds is awesome. It's a great experience. Also, their beers are very good. Alpha King is their kind of flagship. Of course, the Dark Lord is one of those cult, I got to stand in line all day for that. Never done that, but there's a lot of good beers there. Best beer I had there was an Icelandic sour called Icelandic Pants of Doom or something. It was a low alcohol sour made in collaboration with some freaking Scandinavian death metal band. It was great. So Three Floyds is awesome.
One Ivan says, oh, I'm sorry, not Ivan. Sam Gabriel says legal moonshine. A new place opened up in Schuylkill Haven. A moonshine.
Schuylkill Haven?
Yeah, in the knitting mill by the IGA.
You ever go up there?
You ever go up there?
That's excellent.
Matt Carlton was telling me about it. He was there. Mm-hmm. There's now, how much is it? I don't know. How real is it? I'll go check it out. But as far as what moonshine is, just corn alcohol, right? Or sugar alcohol.
White Dog. Yeah. And not aged, just free run. Mostly corn, probably. Have you ever had any Three Floyds?
Was that moonshine?
No, it's a beer. Zombie Dust, Alpha King. It's in Munster, Indiana, so you'd have it in the Midwest, Indiana, Chicago kind of area. That's about all they distro to. Although they're talking about going to Iowa. That's the scuttlebutt is that they will be going to Iowa soon. But Let's see. Yeah, I don't know about this Haven place. I haven't been there. It's called Foreplay. The number 4 play.
Yeah.
So that should give you an idea of what you're getting into when you go to this place. They make like a lot of like kind of apple pie moonshine, and I don't know. I guess they're probably legit. But yeah. Okay, so that was Melvin. You should have a little more.
All right.
Let's see what's next. Let's do a little palate cleanser here.
Well,
Speaking of victory,
well, if you're going to open another one, I'll just put this aside.
I mean, never. Fine. I'll drink beer. Fine. All right, so this is the kind of intermezzo, the lemon sorbet to our thing here. The Roman is not here. Does he even drink?
Yeah. Ish. He'll have a beer from time to time. He sounded like he is still up in Rochester, I think. He went up to go to New Year's there to hang out with Allison Fox, and
Is Allison Fox
a friend of the show.
furry?
No.
No.
No, it's a real name.
She a real fox or
No, just like Mulder.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. He said he used to drink a lot because he went to Penn State, Maine,
I'll do it.
and he said he was a boarder in a frat house. Like he wasn't part of the frat; he was just living there. And we went to this place called Sharky's in State College, and it was his first time back in like 3 years, and he just went back to like the way he used to party at Sharky's. And you know, you go to the bar and get 2 beers because you don't know when you're coming back.
Yeah.
So he got his thing, and then we just sat down. Of course, we were there over Thanksgiving break, so plenty of time.
Right.
So he drinks like 4 beers really fast.
I see. So, Three Floyds. I love Bubblegum Head too. Actually, it's a great wheat beer. Bradley Reese. Let's see. Do we get Brewdog? Yes. Occasionally. I have never seen the Snake Venom or the one with the squirrel. What the hell's that one? Sink the Bismarck or the End of History. I've never seen that one. Here, obviously, the squirrel one, the End of History, they only made like 12 because they're actually packaged in a squirrel. It's a beer that's like 68% alcohol and right. So they cryo extract it, right? So they brew the beer and then they freeze it and they freeze all the water out. It's called cryodistillation.
Okay.
You basically freeze the water freezes before the alcohol. So then you remove the water. It's how they used to make ice beer. Right?
Oh.
So they do that a whole bunch.
Ice.
Yeah. So that they do that a whole bunch with these beers like Snake Venom that are 78% or something. There's no yeast that's going to ferment that far. But this beer in particular, they made like 16 of them, and they were served in
Squirrels.
in a taxidermied squirrel. There was like a bunch of squirrels and like a ferret or something. And you could, that's extremely rare. No, I haven't had the Snake Venom or anything. I think it would be terrible. Anyway, okay, so this is our palate cleanser. It's our intermezzo. It's a Sour Monkey from Victory. It is basically the Golden Monkey triple recipe, which is 9.5% alcohol, and it's secondary fermented with Brettanomyces, so they get them to get it nice and good and funky and sour. So, ooh, baby. I like that. London Pride is a great beer. That's a good go-to at an English pub.
We got a question here. Do they sell Anchor Stream brewery beer? I don't know. I've never heard of Anchor Stream.
Yeah, they do. We'll get Anchor Stream, obviously. Sometimes Liberty Ale. The Christmas we have. Yeah, we get those. Let's see. Sour Monkey. Okay, this is my first shot at Sour Monkey, actually. I like the Golden Monkey, and I told them that you had a story about the Golden Monkey, or that you just said the Golden Monkey effect.
Oh. So Tom's bachelor party.
It's my bachelor party again.
We go to Victory Brewing. I think the thing that colored the whole day of the bachelor party was the fact that we played 18 holes that morning.
That was a mistake. If I could have slept in and we just went drinking, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah. But
although
I fell out of the golf cart.
I did roll you out of the golf cart.
I fell out of the golf cart.
Which was a memorable experience.
That was during my suspender wearing days. Where I was deep into ska music. Although I am going to go see the Slackers in April in Millvale, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Pittsburgh, at Mr. Small's Theater, made famous by a They Might Be Giants venue song about Mr. Smalls.
They call me Mr. Smalls. Good morning.
How are you? Yeah.
No. It's for his PhD. Anyway, Golden Monkey.
Golden Monkey. So Vince, Eric's friend, who's a real funny guy, says, "Here, Brian, I got you something."
Funny guy.
And he hands me this little goblet after I've been kind of pacing myself, but the thing, Golden Monkey's 9.5 or something like that. What is this?
This is 9.5. It's the Golden Monkey recipe.
Okay. And I drink it and I fall asleep in my hands. The type of falling asleep that you can do in class and kind of look, as long as no one can see that your eyes are closed, you can sleep. Someone that's called Subscribe Now says, "Do you like eating cheese with your beer?" I've never heard of such a thing.
But eating cheese is awesome. But there are certain cheeses that go really well with certain beers, yeah.
You guys should remove the invading beer that's known as Natty Light.
That is a regular beer. I mean, that's the most regular beer.
Cheaper than soda.
It's the, what?
I remember being at a
Metro of...
I poured a Natty Light out. I was at a party in, I forget, the College of New Jersey, but I forget which town it's in. Is that Trenton or Newark?
College of... I don't... Patterson?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's across the river from Philly.
Yeah.
What's the New Jersey town across the river from Philly? Is that Trenton?
Yeah, it's Trenton.
Yeah, it's Trenton.
It's Washington.
No, it wasn't Trenton. So I was at a party and the choices for beverages was either Jungle Juice or Natty Ice. So I'm like, I don't want to just drink this mess of booze. I'm gonna have a Natty Ice. I crack that beer, take one sip, take 2 steps left to the sink, and pour it out over dirty dishes in the sink. I can't do this. Like, even me,
cleaned the dishes. It's probably better for cleaning dishes than for imbibing.
Of course, yeah. I have heard of Flying Monkey Brewing Company.
Flying Monkey? Where's that?
Oh, I've heard of it. I don't know where it is. Flying Monkey.
Flying Monkey.
I must have been somewhere in the contiguous United States and Alaska, where I heard of Flying Monkey. Man, I'm getting into the beer now because now I'm getting all nostalgic, but yeah. I could go for some Midnight Sun.
You're right, it's not Patterson. I was thinking of the New Jersey Institute of Technology, which is up there. It's also probably not in Patterson.
Czech lagers for beer starters is good. And I think English browns with vinegar chips if we're talking about snacks with beer. No, salt and vinegar chips. That's PA all the way. That's Schuylkill County.
Oscar Gonzalez says, "Do you like Mexican beers?" I like a Sol, but my go-to Mexican beer, like at the taco place, Pacifico is my go-to. Corona is Corona. Corona is like Guinness in that it's like not super good, but everybody likes it for the brand. So,
Pacifico, my brand,
my brand. So, I like Pacifico for Mexican beer, but that's probably not a very... Oh, Tecate is very good, too.
I like that. We got a sampler once when I was in grad school, and I liked Tecate. It was just like a Mexican sampler, and it lived under the sink for a while. And then Monet, my one roommate, she left, or she graduated and then like went home but was still living there. She'd come back and like work these monster shifts at like a TGI Fridays and come home with a bunch of tips. But she had this case of beer and then eventually said, Brian, you can have the beer. And I'm like, all right. And because she wasn't going to like drink this beer before it goes bad. So I worked my way through, and my favorite was the Tecate because it had the other stuff. It had Corona. I don't know who put this beer together. That Tecate, it had.
They all taste the same, and Tecate is pretty cheap.
Yeah,
like Pacifico is cheap. Tecate is cheap. If they all taste the same, you should get the one that's cheaper, right? I mean,
right. There was someone up in the comments that says, "Do I have a first or second RX-7 lined up?" And the answer is no. Although tomorrow I have another quickie that I shot in Jacksonville, Florida. It is an FD, but it is a very different FD. And it's one of the fastest cars I've driven. I mean, that thing scared me.
Flying Gato, we are drinking a sour beer right now. It is called Sour Monkey from Victory.
Hey, Flying Gato.
It's the golden...
Flying Gato is the YouTuber, sorry to interrupt, is the YouTuber who owns the Civic Type R that we shot over at the Racquetball Club. So, hey, Flying Gato. Nice to see you.
Hi, Flying Gato. So we're drinking a Sour Monkey. It's soured with Brett. It would appear to be. It doesn't have too much lacto aroma, so I believe them. Brettanomyces is a spoilage yeast, basically. Somebody mentioned that Brett has a barnyard flavor. It does sometimes. It depends on the strain of Brett that you inoculate with. And some of them can be super clean and just make acid. But some of them can be super funky and just blow off, barnyard aromas like phenylethanol and ethyl guaiacol and things like that. Not phenylethanol, but ethyl guaiacol and 4-ethylphenol. Phenylethanol is probably there too. But so those smell like a horse blanket or like a Band-Aid. But some strains of Brett are super clean and some can even be super little tropical. All of them make acetate and other organic acids. So they will sour the beer. But so there's a guy, if you've ever had Crooked Stave, which is a brewery in Denver, there's a guy, Chad Jacobson, basically has his master's in Brett. He is pretty much the world's most knowledgeable, Brett Brettanomyces microbiologist that's a brewer. And so he has isolated several different strains, and at Avery in Colorado, they made a bunch of beers where they fermented with different strains of Brett, and they have different aroma profiles and different funkiness. Like Dry Fontainen is a very famous Belgian brewery. Their kind of Brett is really funky, whereas like some of the other CMY strains are more tropical or more pineapple. Some of them make butyrate and they smell like barf, like baby vomit. And so it was funny because we work with butyrate in my lab and it's very recognizable. But anyway, so the Sour Monkey here, this one is not very funky. It does have a little bit of acidic kind of aroma, which lends a kind of stone fruity sourness. It's not super tart, which is good. It's all very balanced. I really like it. I think maybe the alcohol balances that a little bit too. Probably the reason they wouldn't use lacto to sour this, lactobacillus, which is another thing that you can use, is because it's 9.5% alcohol. So they probably, no bacteria is really going to grow in that.
One guy, Rocky LaRude, says, I'm learning super hard right now.
One of my students wrote that on my course evaluation.
Really?
No. But so this, by souring with Brett, you keep the bacteria out, which is nice. But wow, I'm really digging this. Whoever said Sour Monkey rules, you were right. This is a very good beer. And I'm not just saying that because I brought it. I made an awesome choice. I never had it before, so.
Yeah, I could go for
That's really good. Okay. So we did some light beers. We did a Pilsner, Imperial Pilsner, and we did a double IPA. We had a little palate cleanser, a lemon sorbet. Now we're going to move to the dark beers.
Okay. What's up with my toenail? Why does it hurt? Oh, because I haven't cut it.
Oh,
It's really long. It's probably bending the thing up.
somebody was asking for feet before.
Oh, that's an internet thing. Don't worry about it. Relax, Morty. Just go with it, Morty. Which is your favorite brown beer? If you had a... Oh, okay. You make a vagabond Falcon wagon for butt stuff. See, the interesting thing about the Falcon wagon is that they stretch the wheelbase on that. Wait, did they stretch the wheelbase or did they just make the ass end bigger of that car? I forget. What's your thought on a Ford Aerostar? Oh, who the hell had a Ford Aerostar when we were in high school? Do you remember the one?
Shannon, my girlfriend.
She
Her
had.
mom had a Windstar. What's the difference between an Aerostar and a Windstar?
The Windstar is newer. Yeah,
She had a Ford Windstar.
Windstar. The Aerostar goes back to the early '80s. Aerostar is like a space van.
Space van,
But
you
there was.
say?
They're pretty neat. The Aerostars are Ford Aerostars are pretty neat. Now there was someone in the band Boosters who had one of those. Oh man, she played in the Pit. And
Was it Mandy Barner's dad? No.
Who was the one who? Sorry guys, just to be ounce of prevention, pound of cure. I have to ask Tom a question, and I am going to mute the audio for this, just in case. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Yeah, that's something you will never know.
Dogfish Head is the best brewing company of all. I'm gonna let you finish, but Dogfish Head, although Creative Mind T said Doghead Fish, is the best brewing company of all time. It's all right. It's good. It's very good. It's a trendsetter. It's one of the originals. It's OG.
Matt Gufterson, hey, Mr. Regular, I notice you always wear a Seiko 5. I don't wear a Seiko 5. I wear a Timex Weekender. Because I asked people, what is the ultimate dad watch?
Often confused for a more expensive watch.
Seiko 5. Blake Wrong likes his Seiko 5. And according to Matt Farah, Seikos are very hip right now. The prices of those watches are going up. And they're... Not that watches have street cred, but they're considered right now way more sophisticated than even like classic Seikos are way more sophisticated, according to Matt Farah, than Rolex is right now. I mean, everybody will buy a GMT Master 2 all the time, and I only know stuff about watches from hearing Matt Farah talk about them.
I think Mr. Regular would appreciate some Treehouse Life in the 413. Treehouse is kind of cult brewery out of Boston. We have a Fegley's on deck, but it's not Hopsalutely, Mr. Connor. It's the one with the copyright infringement. But first, this beer is for millennials only.
Well, we're two Gen Xers right here, so...
Oh, I'm a millennial. Oh, yeah, you're a little older than me.
I'm 1 year older than you. I was born in 81. You were born in 82.
83.
You're born in 83. Oh,
January.
that's right. We're a year and a half apart.
This is French Toast Crunch Porter. It's made with a cereal. It's from Manayunk Brewing in Philly.
Yeah.
Which is a great facility. That's where we went for Eric's bachelor party.
Yes.
Awesome facility.
I like
it's
that.
right on the Schuylkill.
I like that.
I like that place. It's right on the Schuylkill, so you go outside and there's like a very cool river view. It's an awesome
the band was playing, and yeah.
Yeah, but like it's an awesome
peed
view.
a lot there.
Me too. We went to a brewfest there. But, right, thank you, Lobster Dome. I consider myself a millennial. Look, I like to mix it up We go from Melvin cult favorite to French Toast Crunch Porter. If you've ever had French Toast Crunch cereal, they don't make it anymore because nobody liked it. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and they were all shaped like little toasts. Right? Remember that?
Man, if they make a Hidden Treasures...
Let's say.
I farted.
Je passagne
Oh, I farted again.
I don't know what that means. Je passagne onime.
That's not your daddy's beer, that's for sure. Hey,
No, it's
it ain't
not.
my daddy's car.
I don't think my dad would drink French Toast Crunch Porter. They still make French Toast Crunch? I thought they stopped making it because everybody hated it.
Ted Cruz. I'll get back to that question on that. I'll pose that to Tom. But after we get done sampling this.
So French Toast Crunch. Here we go.
What New Zealand beers am I going to try on my trip? I'd love to bring some back. I'm excited for that.
Moa, right? MOA. That's a good New Zealand beer. I've had a couple of those.
Oh, they bring them here?
I've had some. Moa, at least. I think that's how you say it. Maybe you have to be doing a haka when you say it. But all right, guys, keep on enjoying beers. Ah, jeez, sorry. If you're wearing headphones, sorry about that.
I'm sorry I made a face.
Regular fart reviews.
Yeah, this is...
These are a lot of big beers. There will be farting.
I'm going in.
Moa Breakfast is my favorite. All right, so this is French Toast Crunch. Have you had French Toast Crunch cereal, first of all?
I have.
You have. Before you make that face, does it do what it says? Does it smell like French Toast Crunch?
It does.
It does, right? It smells exactly like French Toast Crunch.
Someone screenshot this face.
Ugh. So if you're a cereal junkie, it's first of all, from a beer standpoint, the porter it finishes real clean like a porter. It's fine. It just has a really strong nose of French Toast Crunch. If you've never had that, it's kind of syrupy. It's very much like the fake maple syrup that you get from Aldi. It's called like Maple Town, but there was never a tree involved in making it. Yeah, it's not chocolate beer. It's a porter called French Toast Crunch Porter. Obviously, nobody here has had French Toast Crunch, or they will be freaking out. It's, it does what it says, and I respect that. It's not my favorite. Oh, God.
Hey, God. Wesley, if you're game, I am. Oh, yeah.
Well, regular B reviews?
Well, this very sour, messed up beer.
Maybe next time we'll bring mead and we'll call it regular B reviews.
Tom, would you be offended if I pour this out?
I didn't make it.
All right.
The good people at Manayunk Brewing, who very successfully recreated the taste of French Toast Crunch, might be a little offended. I'm gonna have some more. French Toast Crunch, ladies and gentlemen. Let's face it, just gentlemen. There's no ladies here. French Toast. This is a French Toast Crunch. It's the '89 Celica GTS. It's not the best cereal. Reasonable pedigree. Offered nothing over the GT and was not the all-track. I don't know what any of that means, but cold brown. French Toast Crunch is cold brown. They were so concerned whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think they should. Yes, what hath God wrought? Here, I need a French Toast Crunch enema. That cereal is the best. That's why they brought it back. Oh, they brought it back. Oh, that makes sense. Well, because everything from the 1990s needs to be brought back. From French Toast Crunch.
We're going to the Roundhouse and have a celebration.
To goddamn Roseanne.
Right?
Roseanne. Brown couch. Ivy keeps asking about Stella. Stella is fine. It comes in a green bottle. Don't have it in a bottle. Get it on tap. It's a good any port in a storm kind of beer. If you're at a place that only has Coors Light and Busch Light, then get Stella.
We had a question.
But it's not objectively good.
We had a question a million years ago. Tom, have you ever had any Japanese beers?
Yeah. I mean, the Budweiser of Japan. I've had Asahi and Sapporo and Kirin, right, at the sushi place. Like
I had Sapporo at a gosh, what was it? It was the one restaurant where they serve you everything on a stick, but it's really good. All right.
One thing they'd serve you on a stick.
It was like everything was kebabs, but it wasn't. It was like you get this little square plate and it's like
chicken,
meat.
Like little chickens.
Yeah.
You have peanut sauce.
Yeah.
Satay. Chicken satay.
Yeah, you get a plate and like you're going to choose like 8 different things throughout the course of the night, and they all come out. And this one guy with a sob picked me up from the airport at San Diego. I was bored and I was on Twitter. I was like, who is around? There's no one here. Who wants to go to dinner? And this one guy showed up. It's like, oh, I'll take you to this place. You're gonna be like one of 3 gringos there. And well, not gringos, but you know, you're gonna be three whiteys there.
Gaijin.
And we'll sit at the bar, drink Sapporo, and it was the best meal I've ever had.
Was it an izakaya?
A
little bistro kind of, or like a sushi bar?
I was at a bar, but it wasn't sushi, and it wasn't Japanese. Yeah. It was Korean.
Okay. Was it Korean barbecue?
It was barbecue.
Okay.
So not but they had Sapporo there because whatever. What you want to sell people stuff? Yeah. But it went with the barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Japan, Hitachi no Nest has some pretty good but very expensive beers. White Owl and some other interesting collabos.
Can you see this okay?
Yeah, you should be on you. They're here to see you. They don't know who I am. They want the close up of your face.
Well, if I sit here, I can then tilt it.
You guys had Kona Big Wave. Probably. Somebody asked about Hawaiian craft beer before. Where's the thick bitches at?
They were building the first Guinness factory outside Ireland and Maryland, but only make beers from American market. That's a cock tease if I ever heard one.
So in case you're just tuning in, we're drinking French Toast Crunch Porter from Manayunk Brewing down by Philly.
One guy says 4th for the 10 speed. I know what beer you're talking about, something 10 speed. Oh, that's an IPA, right? 10 speed IPA. They had it at Rutter's.
I've had a single speed IPA. Which is also a bike name. Sam Adams Utopias, I've had that at GABF. Who's the guy? Jim Cook was there at the booth and was pouring it out of the bottle into pitchers. This is what happened. This is crazy shit that happens at the Great American Beer Festival. Jim Cook is pouring in a big bottle of Utopias, which is, if you don't know, a very expensive beer from Sam Adams. It's like 21%. And it comes in it's basically $100 bottle of beer, and it comes in a bottle shaped like a brew kettle. So Jim Cook is there. They're pouring all these. She's, tight shirted Sam Adams girls are going around pouring this stuff at GABF. They poured me literally the GABF, you get a little glass, and it has a line on it that's like an ounce. So if this glass is my glass at GABF, and it holds, this is an ounce. They filled it up. I had 6 ounces of that shit, and it was basically they poured me $40 worth of beer, It was awesome. And it's very good. It's hot. It's bourbony. It's aged in bourbon barrels, and it's very whiskey-y. But it's great. I don't know if it's worth $100 to me, really, but yeah. Again, they're OG though. They're OG Sam Adams. They're OG craft. They they deserve respect for creating a craft beer market. But on the other hand, most of the things that they're doing now, that they're more experimental stuff, is like not super great.
Tom, how do you pronounce that?
That's Jean.
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 Mr. Regular, I'm not from the USA, and I always thought, what is Dr. Brown? Dr. Brown is a very cheap soda that's pumped up with sugar. It gives you diabetes.
It's like generic Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, he's the guy in Back to the Future. Steals the plutonium from the Libyans and.
Yeah.
Oh. I dumped Sam Adams in the sink. I bet you wouldn't dump a Utopias in the sink if you paid $100 for it, but I've had Baltica. It's very good. Somebody asked me that last time. Have you had the Baltica?
We get this question every time. I'm kind of a beer virgin. This is from Ravior Nito. I'm kind of a beer virgin. What's a good beer to start out with? It doesn't taste like crap. All I have drank is ciders and rum drinks. Okay. What a good beer. Now we get to define good. We point you in two directions. A Pilsner or a Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
You're going to want something easy.
Weizen or like a Blue Moon even is a good like intro to not yellow.
Yes.
Skip the orange.
You're going to want a Mazda. What's a Mazda Miata of beer? And I'm not going to Yingling on this. Because some people drink it and they don't like it. I mean, their Yingling Premium may be okay. But that's not a.
I mean, lager is a great intro because it's a little bit sweet. It's not very bitter at all. There's no hops in it.
Summer, like if we do a Pils, I did that. I'm sorry I interrupted. Sorry. I do that a lot. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Lager is a good. Yingling Lager is a good like intro beer, but not everybody gets that, right? But like just go a little bit outside the Bud Light area. If you go into it thinking, oh, beer tastes like piss, right? That's a thing that you're not going to get past that, right? You have to open mind about it. But also, like, I think that if you're at like a bar that like a quality establishment that has some good like English beers that are not super bitter, I think the bitterness is the thing that really pushes a lot of people off. Budovicki Budvar, the original Budweiser. The original Budweiser. That's a good suggestion. In America, they call that Czechvar because Budweiser is a thing in America that's not related to that. But yeah, so an English pale, like somebody suggested London Pride before. That's very good. Fuller's ESB is also good. I think you should stay in the amber area because there's a little bit more sweetness to back up any bitterness that might be there. That's what I would start with if I was starting out. But like Hefeweizens too are a very good intro, and Blue Moon type of beers are a very good intro too. That's a good. What's the best 30 rack beer? Jenny Cream. Yeah.
Hard to go wrong.
You probably don't have that in a lot of places, but it's Genesee Cream Ale. That's a good house beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My suggestion for the guy who wants to try something, there's Trogs makes. Is it Trogs or Victory? Trogs makes something called Sunshine Pills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Trogs Sunshine Pills. Very good.
Yeah. It's the only Pilsner that stands up to other stuff. Because everybody else who makes a Pilsner is making this Miller Lite nonsense lawnmower beer. And there was somebody around in Pennsylvania who was making a beer called the Lawnmower. What?
Oh, yeah. Who's the Misfits fan? So I have no idea. St. Arnold makes a beer called Lawnmower Beer. It's a Kolsch, actually. Yeah, I mean... But like, I feel like if you don't like the taste of beer, if you say, "Oh, beer tastes like piss," it's because you had a PBR or a Bud Light or something, and you're like, "Ugh, I don't like this. This must be what all beer tastes like." Because Busch Light is all I drink. There you go. You must be from Iowa, Jeremy Williams, because Iowa State fans drank the city of Memphis out of Busch Light over the weekend. We won the Liberty Bowl. Nice job, fellas. That's an easy beer to chug.
Why would nice. Okay, you're 20. That's what you do. The easiest beer to chug is something without a lot of carburation in it, which means a flat beer.
Carburation? It's fuel injected beer is what you want. You don't want carburation at all, really.
I got a beer for you to chug. Miller High Life. Go chug that.
How should we go about starting IPAs?
You'll be burping it out of your nose.
Start with meeping. How should we go about starting IPAs? Start with pale ales, because they're not nearly going to be as hoppy. They're going to have a little more malt background, and you've got to ease yourself into that bitterness. When you get older, you lose that bitterness is one of the first tastes that kind of drops out of your gustatory system. And so old people like things that are more bitter, like vegetables. That's why kids don't like broccoli.
Yeah.
Right. And Brussels sprouts, because they're really bitter. It used to be because, things that are bitter are sometimes poisonous. So your body says, no, I don't want that. It's bitter.
Yeah.
But when you get old, you've already probably procreated. So that wasn't selected for, right? This is just Darwinian evolution. Butt chugging is the only way a real man drinks.
That guy sounds like he still has to ask for the hall pass to go to the bathroom.
All right. Regular butt chug reviews. Okay, so moving on. This beer is a little bit controversial around these parts. It's, so I think, did we do a Mad Elf? I think we did Mad Elf last time.
I had Mad Elf yesterday with Matt Carlton.
Right. Okay, good. So keep that taste in mind.
Mm-hmm.
This beer is a knockoff of Mad Elf. So if you've had Troegs Mad Elf, it's an 11% beer. It's a dark Belgian strong ale. It's got cherries and honey. This is Fegley's Brew Works Rude Elf's Reserve. It's not Mad Elf. It used to be called Rudolph's Reserve, but they changed the name to Rude Elf's Reserve. And so if you're a Pennsylvania beer person, Mad Elf is like the kind of a paragon of strong holiday beer. Mm-hmm. And so these guys come out and say, we're going to make a beer called Rude Elf. And it's going to be the same kind of beer, and it has an elf on it. The only thing is the elf looks like he's like molesting a reindeer, whereas the Mad Elf is just, kind of playful. He's like, I'm an elf. Minnesota Grain Belt Premium. Somebody asked me about Grain Belt before. So this is Rude Elf's Reserve. It's a Mad Elf knockoff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it has cherries in it or anything, but let's give it a shot. I've never had it because it just enraged me so much to see them blatantly knocking off Mad Elf. Troegs sued them in 2011.
Really?
Yes, because... And there's kind of two ways you can think about this, right? Can you claim, like, being an elf as a thing? But you know what? There's a lot of other Christmas shit. You don't have to pick the thing that's, like, right up the road. Fegley's is in Allentown, Troegs in Harrisburg.
Yeah.
It's an hour away. Like, you knew what you were doing.
They knew what they were doing.
But anyway, Troegs dropped a lawsuit because it wasn't worth it. But, all right. Mad Elf Beat Off is my seasonal porn name.
Someone asked me if I tried the hard root beer earlier.
Ugh.
Exactly. That's a gimmick. That's like Mike's Hard Lemonade. I want to get drunk, but I don't want to taste the alcohol. Actually,
adult soda, kind of the adult orange soda, adult root beer, adult ginger beer, all that stuff. It's been a big deal lately. Have I tried the Mad Elf Grand Cru? No. It was $28 for a bottle, so I skipped it. But yes, I agree with aging Mad Elf. I have a 13 in my basement. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, this is the Rude Elf. It's not a Mad Elf at all. It's just rude. Rude. And it kind of tastes like Mad Elf, but not really. It's the same
Sweeter.
style. It's very sweet. It's clearly Belgian, but there's really nothing else behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Mad Elf has the cherries, and I think that gives a little bit of acidity that kind of balances it out a little bit. But goddamn,
Jolly Rancher. Jolly Rancher root beer.
There's probably a lot of esters in it because they brew it. They probably brew it pretty hot.
When you say brew it hot, I mean the temperature.
The high temperature, right? You get more esters. That's why ales have more fruity esters than lagers. But do you guys like sours, lambics? Yes, love them. We did Sour Monkey earlier, so you can go back and watch that.
Yeah.
I love lambics, like a real lambic, like a wild fermentation. In fact, Trogs, by the way, to give a Trogs plug, makes a wild elf. And what they do is they ferment. They do secondary wild fermentation on the Mad Elf recipe. I've not had that, but I bet it's pretty good.
Well,
I swear the hard root beer with a shot of vanilla vodka tastes like a root beer float, not teabag. I believe you. I just don't want root beer. I
don't want soda. You know, Adam Carolla called it the yummy phase. And once you leave the yummy phase, then you can be adult with your mouth.
I'm sure it's very yummy. Yeah. And I'm not trying to... Whatever. If you like it, then you should drink it. Yeah. It's just not my thing to get a hard orange soda. Right? But this is... I'm very look, maybe it's very clear I came into this a little biased.
Yeah. Because
I was pissed off about the ripping off Mad Elf. But I'm not seeing very much merit to this beer. It's so caramely. Yeah. This is, by the way, the beer we're talking about here, Fegley's.
You know what? There's the same feeling.
I mean, their graphic design leaves something to be desired as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, with this elf that's fingering a reindeer or something.
Let me have a good look at this thing.
Yeah. He's an angry elf. Yeah, I'm not loving it. It's a Belgian strong ale. It's 10.5%. It will get you there. It will take you there. A rubba.
What was the last time I heard that song?
I don't know. But
do you remember when you sat...
I don't recommend it. Just get the original. Get the Mad Elf. It might be a little more expensive.
Do you remember when you sat on Shannon Stone Cipher and just went... Yes,
I do. So somebody asked, have you had anything from Elysian? Yes. They have one called like a Space Dust. Something like that. That's very good. Elysian is legit. They know what they're doing. It's Gorilla Tape 99. Jean. Is it Jean? Jean. I know that A apostrophe. No. The A with a tilde over it, O, is like an N. Jean. It's like Juan. It's like the Portuguese Juan. Jean. Jean. Jean Pedro. Anyway. 99 Bananas is like a banana schnapps or something. Space Dust. Yeah, that's what it is. It's very good, right? Wow. Have you tried Aphrodisiac? It's from Quebec. Is it made by Trou du Diable? Vernon 682. Quebecy. I've had a bunch of Quebec beers. I may not have had Aphrodisiac. Unclear. I went to a Quebec beer tasting in Montreal one time, but I am not sure if it's made by Trou. Oh, then maybe. Trou du Diable is awesome. It means like devil's hole.
Oh boy.
I don't think it's asshole, but it's like a hole, like a pit. Trou. I don't know. Quebec person, you can fill me in on that. But it's they make a lot of very good beers. So if you're in Canada or Quebec and you're able to get some Trou du Diable, you should get that. Because almost everything they make is excellent. Again, not loving this. Boo. Boo on you, Feglies. First of all,
Boo
for
earns.
ripping off the name. Secondly, your beer is not very good. I'm sorry. Ugh. I don't think I've ever done a... Ugh. I think I've ever done a sink pour.
I got you.
Maybe it'll be better later after this next one.
Yeah. Go to shower.
Go to...
This one guy said a shower beer. I have had a shower. I had Yingling Light Lager in the shower.
It needs to be a chugger.
Yeah.
It needs to be a beer that you can put it on the... I've been here in on the East Coast for a week and a half now, and I've had a couple of shower beers, and that beer, one was a Melvin, actually. Melvin Jesus. It was a Mexican lager. Very good. I think you want one that if you get a little water in it, because you stick it on the side, you're not going to notice.
Yeah. I remember it. It was in my apartment in Kutztown, undergrad, and it was... Why do they call them pounders if they're more? It's like a tall boy.
It's a 16 ounce. A tall boy is a double deuce. A 22 ounce.
Oh, it wasn't that. It was in between the 12.
A pounder is a pint, so it weighs a pound.
Oh.
Also, you can pound it, bro. Pound that shit. All right. Now, this one we're probably not going to finish. So we're going brown.
What's the one with the foil on the top? Is that the finisher? Or...
Taxation is theft and Mr. Regulars. Yeah.
I was saying Boo earns.
I'm an internet libertarian.
Yeah, put the cap. Is it a screw off or? No, it's not.
No. I'll try not to deform the cap that much.
I have a hammer.
Nobody said that Blue Moon was a craft beer. It's not. It's made by Coors, but someone asked about it being a intro to beer. Someone asked about what beer should I drink if I don't like beer.
I made a joke in one YouTube video where it just had a cutaway that says, I like craft beer. I like Blue Moon. You know?
That's very droll indeed.
John Jones was set up. This edible ain't shit.
Who's John Jones?
UFC fighter.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah, he was juicing, right?
Yeah, he was juicing. Awesome. He was juicing and he claimed... The thing is, he claimed it was like, oh, I was taking dick pills. That was his excuse.
Pills.
Because the guy's known to party. Like, he was... he was busted with having cocaine in his system at the weigh-in. And you're like, well...
You have a fight? It's not a... Yeah.
Is that a performance-enhancing drug or not? And it's like, but people kind of love him because he doesn't give a fuck.
You took my...
Christopher Kennedy says, what is the worst beer you've ever drank? Again, Natty Ice.
I have a good answer for that.
It may be one of these things.
No. Although Fegley's Brewed Elf is not great. My worst beer ever. Very memorable experience. It was called Truff Titties. And it was by Twisted Pine Brewing in Boulder, Colorado. It was a beer made with black truffles and chocolate truffles, which the only thing that unites those two concepts is that they both are called truffles. And it was awful. If you've ever had like truffles or truffle oil, it's very funky, right? There's a very... like a masculine, not even masculine. It's just like a a groin kind of aroma from a truffle, a black truffle. And so there's that. Plus, it's like a chocolate stout with that in it. It was disgusting. It tasted like mushroom farts, and it was awful. I give him credit for trying that out, but it did not work. That's the worst beer I've ever had. Vital from La Guimoire. Soapy mineral water and cheap raspberry extract. Okay, so we're getting browner. This is black. Thick. It's I've never had this. It's from New Hampshire. It's Vendel Imperial Stout. Everything I brought was pretty big today. And this is a double dose. And it's
to the single dose.
Double deuce. So we're gonna try this out. It's the label. There's a Viking on it, or a Visigoth. Somebody from the internet might know. So do you have is this yours?
One guy says this month, "Hey man, remember me? I interviewed you for a podcast ages ago." And then this emoji. I'm sorry, can you
Flat
be
face.
a little bit more specific? Whoa.
Mr. Regular's like really famous, so like all the podcasts. All right,
Like,
so
all the Stacy's coming over, like Kelly 29, Kelly 89, Kelly 80.
why are you drinking beer at 12:15? You're not my mom, Ron Rodgers. It's not even Saturday. Ooh, all right. So this is like I said, this is Vendel. Pour it on the laptop. Vendel Imperial Stout.
Ooh, that's thick.
It's a stout brewed with coffee and chocolate. Let's give that a second. Ooh, and first, right off the bat, I get a little funky, plasticky Brett thing. Have you had Dragon's Milk? Yes, I've been aging some. Oh yeah, MC Fast Difference. You mentioned Charlie Bamforth, and you said this is like being in Charlie Bamforth's class. High praise. Thank you. Charlie Bamforth basically runs the brewing program at UC Davis, which is the premier agricultural university in the country, basically, except for Cornell. And they have a huge wine program. Actually, I had an interview there for enology and viticulture. I didn't meet Charlie while I was there, but he's a god of beer instruction. Their winery is awesome there, actually.
In my mind, I'm just going to call him the Magnus Walker of beer.
He's the professor of beer.
Okay.
I can't name another one. I mean, there's Carl Siebert at Cornell, but he doesn't nearly have the profile as Charlie Bamforth. All right, so this is this Vendel Imperial Stout. This is a beer with coffee and chocolate, and you get that. But there's also I don't want to say a bready thing, but there's like a little off thing. Yeah, I mean, it does what it says. It's very coffee, very coffee. I left Joe Rogan for this. Good for you.
Good
Joe
for you. I like Joe Rogan.
I don't like Joe Rogan.
I like Joe Rogan. I hope to be on that podcast someday, somehow, some way.
You're that libertarian. I have a problem with getting drunk without putting back a bottle of spirits.
Huh? I think that guy's lying. We got a shout out for Natty Bo from Kleisland.
Natty Bo? Yes, Natty Bo. I went to college in Baltimore. Natty Bo. You want Natty Bo on? I'll get you Natty Bo. You go to the O's game? Natty Bo is my go-to in Baltimore, obviously. I mean, it's cheap as shit. Even though it's not brewed in Baltimore anymore. It's brewed in Milwaukee. Used to be brewed in Baltimore. It has this regional cachet and regional pride in this, local yellow.
Yeah.
Do we get Australian beers? Foster's. Sometimes you'll see Victoria bitters. But nothing really that crazy. Nothing really crafty. I don't know if there is that much craft there. If there is, I'd never had it. I'm not loving this.
Has a very sharp finish.
It's a lot of bitterness. Probably maybe the coffee. No, there's almost an astringency. Like maybe from the cocoa. He is very wholesome, actually.
You're too kind.
He's my best friend. And, under the brown and the spankerchief, there's really a heart of gold.
Thank you. I had a t-shirt that I would jerk off into in college. And on it, I wrote the word Spankerchief, spelled Chief, the Chief Spanker. And I remember I threw it at least 2 people in my room who wouldn't leave my room. It was dry. Crusty.
Ew.
You ever come into a shirt for an entire semester? There were spots of yellow on this thing.
I apologize for bringing this up.
There were spots of yellow. I kept it in my desk drawer, the bottom one.
Speaking of vomiting, Bradley Reese says, serious question. I cannot drink an unpasteurized beer due to allergies. What craft options do I have to explore? Wow. If you want a Hefeweizen, you can get a Kristallweizen, which is filtered. Are you allergic to yeast? Is that? I don't know. Or is it a protein folding thing? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not that kind of doctor. I'm a PhD in chemical engineering. So I don't know about that. The filtering. I suppose you could filter it. Pasteurize it yourself. I don't know. Yingling's pasteurized. I know that. I know that Amber Lager is. Because they've seen the pasteurizer at their, I would say have a Coors Light, and if Coors Light is filtered but not pasteurized, so if you're okay with Coors Light, that means you're okay with filtered beers, and most beers are filtered. If they're crystal clear, they're probably filtered, because they're not gonna. It takes a very long time to get it crystal clear if it's not.
One guy asks, "Is building
is really overshadowing my commentary here?"
One guy says, "Is Building 24 getting turned into a brewery?" I don't know.
It's Building 24.
It's club in Reading.
Yeah.
It's down by. I think it's down by the Works or something like that. I was there once. I was there at Building 24 for New Year's.
Casper Inky Magoo. I know that, but in terms of like most craft breweries, like small scale breweries, are not going to have the time to let it sit for that long and clarify it.
I gotta pee.
I pee too.
You can go ahead. I will. I'll entertain the stream.
I live in Baltimore. Where did I go to school? I went to Johns Hopkins.
You guys should reach out to Jalen. You can go pee.
I think I can make it. All right,
go pee.
I'll just go.
I put one of those blue hockey pucks in the cistern. You can turn the water green. One of the guys asked, I forget what he asked. Regular cars, will there be a which Viper is best Viper? Yes, there will be. When I go to Chrysler Nationals, I will film which Viper is best Viper. Mr. R, beer related, not car related. But the cow lick in your hair should be christened the Wingadinga. Yeah, you notice I've been combing my hair this whole time. You can even see the line of my hair loss. It's right there. Right there. Right there. I got to go buzz my hair down before I go to New Zealand. This one guy, Elaton, you keep saying regret selling the MR2 yet. No regrets, no regrets. It was a perfectly acceptable. It was a perfectly acceptable little rev down memory lane, and I got to drive the car I always wanted to, and that was that. That was that. Regular cars, can people hear you when you speak under your breath at car shows and coffee? No, they can't. Because I'm talking about this loud, and you can hear this perfectly in the mic. This is usually one. Or you can actually... See, the thing about this voice is that you can actually enunciate really well, and you don't have to talk very loud. And that's how I talk into the mic. And at the car shows, and you gotta remember there's a lot of cars that are revving in the background, but I can talk like this. I can talk just fine. One guy just says crusty socks. I have a dedicated spank sock. It's made by Timberland.
Smart wool.
No, I would never come into a Smart Wool pair of Smart Wool socks. They're $20 freaking and they're amazing.
It's Matt Farah comes into Smart Wool socks.
I gotta pee. When can we expect more motorcycles? When it's freaking summertime. That's when. Why don't you just use TP? When you get to my level, you'll understand why you can't.
Just get on my level.
Get on my level.
Man. Camo shirts.
One guy asked, has you ever had any Brazilian beer?
Oh, Brazilian guy is back. Joan. Sauzingu is the beer, is the Brazilian beer that almost everybody has had. That's okay. I had one that's made with cashews. It's a sour beer with cashews, and it's Brazilian, and it's called something like Kaja. Oh, I'm not gonna find it now. That was pretty good. Okay. We just don't get a lot of them, so we're probably not getting the cool stuff. Christopher Kennedy, you're a chemical engineer. What chemicals do you study? I study bacteria. So, PhD in chemical engineering. I do microbial stuff, protein engineering, microbiomes, things like that. I met a girl on Tinder, and she also nice. I've met people, by the way, I'm not affiliated with this channel. I'm just a regular beer reviews person. Almost every place I've been, I've met somebody who's been like, wow, you've heard of regular car reviews? I was like, yeah, I've kind of heard of it. So It's pretty awesome having a famous friend. Just moved to GA.
Did you tell a story about the guy who came into your office?
Oh yeah.
Did that ever come up in one of these before?
I'm a trap bear and a trap. Hold on. Oh yeah, the guy that came into my office. So I'm a professor, and so this dude shows up in my office like the first week of class, and he's asking all these very specific questions about my high school car, and I'm like thinking that this is like a student in my class who Googled me and like, I don't know, found my blog from college or something. I don't know. He's like, do you still have the unit? What about Neil Lutz's Super Saturn? And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, Mr. Regular told me to come in here and heckle you. And I was like, whoa. For a minute there, I was like a little freaked out. Yeah, that's the power. That's the power that Mr. Regular has.
I guess.
What's the worst thing you've ever said about a car?
I think it might have been Nick Roman's. Well, the first thing I've said. Nick called the Dodge Avenger the car for people who pretty much had it with cars.
Where's your glass?
I had something that I cut out of. I have so much of this stuff left.
Yeah, go ahead. Lay it down. We have beer coming up.
All right. Yeah, it's the last one, isn't it?
I'll drink a water.
I'm hamming it up a little bit. Oh, I just farted.
Hugo Silva, are antibiotics really that bad? Antibiotic resistance is bad, and if you abuse antibiotics,
I'm gonna clean this glass.
Encourage antibiotic resistance. Yeah, go ahead. So, I mean, they're not bad. If you have cholera and you're going to die, then yeah, take antibiotics. But don't take antibiotics if you have a cold, and don't give them to animals for prophylactic reasons. Unless you want to not be able to use antibiotics anymore in the near future. Kyle Rogers, I don't study Candida, but my friend does. She's a professor at Maryland, and she's looking at antimicrobial peptides to prevent antibiotic resistance that specifically attack Candida albicans. No, he's fine. He'll be all right. He's not going to barf. The 2002 Chrysler Neon was by far the greatest vehicle I've ever driven. Mr. Regular had a 2000 Chrysler Neon. Is that right? Was it 2000? It was a Dodge Neon, or Plymouth Neon at the time. Dodge Neon.
Yeah, 2000.
Was it 2000?
I found an old picture of it. God, I was such a dick with that car. It's like, I want people to think I know about cars, so
I've seen it.
There's a picture on Twitter of it.
It had a Knight Rider light.
Yeah, it did. The car came with a 4-disc CD changer, factory, and disc 4 was a CD that had the Knight Rider theme on the first track, so I could cue it up whenever I needed it.
Look, Joao, I speak Spanish, so it's very difficult to switch to Portuguese mode. There was a question about chemical. Oh, do I use protein A? Yeah, everybody uses protein A. If you want to separate antibodies, it binds antibodies, right? So I think lots of people make it, though. I don't think there's just one company, but yeah, antibodies are really important, so it's probably a good investment. No one's going to not need protein A anytime soon. We're getting a little off topic.
Yeah. See, when I'm down like this, I think that's going to help a little bit.
I bought me out of the summer and I'm swimming in plus. Nice. If you don't mind me bragging, she's a real pussy wagon. Grease
Mm.
go, go.
I never understood nutting into a clothing object. Well, then you've never understood sustainability.
How many plates have you streaked in your life? I once did 150, not plates, but spot plates. I once did 150 in one day. Probably 5,000 plates.
What does that question mean?
Petri dishes of bacteria.
Staked? What does staked mean?
Streaked.
Oh.
There's an R in there.
Oh, God.
Staked.
Staked.
Put a steak on a plate, and you see what bacteria is growing on it. Streak. You like... You take a little pipette and you... on a plate. Sometimes I would spot them. All right. We're ready for the last and final beer.
What's the car I learned to drive in? 1994 Dodge Caravan. I reviewed it from the channel. Yep. The joke people like it is that it was a great place to practice the rusty Sandusky.
That was very early RCR.
Yeah, that was... I filmed that episode on the way to Reading. Where I don't know why my dad had to drive me. Yeah, that didn't make sense. Maybe he wanted to buy something for me or something. Or anyway, we both drove down to Wyomissing near Reading. And
ready?
To buy a laptop, this laptop that I took with me to Alaska, and
do.
So I took this with, and started filming bits of the car as we were driving. And I said, "Dad, I'm going to take some pictures." And he's just said something about the Weather Channel. And we got there. There's an 80s Chrysler New Yorker for sale near where I live. Should I get it? It's your pierogi sale. An 80s Chrysler
like Tracy's mom.
They did have a New Yorker.
It wasn't the 80s, probably.
It was K-car based. Did it have a CD player or not? It may have been like early 90s.
So there's
a lot going on.
Last
here.
and final beer of the night is it's Avery Uncle Jacob's Stout. It is 16.9% alcohol.
Tom, what are you doing?
It is from 2015, bottled in 2015 and aged.
Did you bring this just for this?
Yeah, I figured we'd enjoy it with all of our online friends.
This is dark.
It's from 2015, so it's aged a little bit. A year or so, 2 years in a barrel.
Wow.
Well, no, it's aged. I think they barrel age it for a year, and then but it's aged in bottle for 2 years. Uncle Jacob's. If you're not familiar with Avery, it's one of the premier breweries from Colorado. It's got a lot of wide distro now, but their barrel program is fantastic. Sours.
That is an inch of
stouts. They do all kinds of craziness with tequila barrels and rum barrels. And if you see a bottle that looks like this with the A and the barrel on the front, you should get it.
Look at that.
No, it's opaque. I mean,
that is a snap-on shop light. This thing is blinding as crap. That is an inch of this stuff, and this light can barely get through it. To give you guys an idea of, this is like the best shop light I've ever used. It has one of the rare earth magnets down here. Sticks to everything. Bruce Hen's Garage loves these things.
Brewcat.
This is
regular beer reviews is brought to you by Snap-on shop lights.
This thing is bad freaking ass, and it can't pan it. Like, okay, you get a little bit through the top. That's nuts that I'm looking at it. Look at that. So it's actually red.
Yeah, but that's a really bright light, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you actually see that? Like,
so this beer, if in case you're just joining us, or you zoned out for a minute, it's not. Yep, no, it's pretty dank, pretty dark.
it can't get through it.
So Uncle Jacob's is one of their kind of specialty things. It's named after. I want to say it's named after one of the first people to label whiskey bourbon. Yeah, I think that's what it says. Yeah. So Jacob, whatever. 6 months is aged in bourbon barrels, and it's 17%. People.
This is the highest alcohol content beer I have ever drank.
It'll get you there.
It'll get me hit. It'll get me there, and then in the next county. I can just smelling it.
It's like a.
You can pregame just by smelling this beer.
It's like a burnt marshmallow. It's sweet and smoky, and it's got a little it's a nice face. A little bitterness to it, a little bit. Oh,
so this is what happens. So this is what happens when beer is aged.
It's just warm. It's not necessarily the beer is aged. It's just very highly alcoholic. Somebody asked before, what was the effect of alcohol on beer? When it's this alcoholic, it just has a warming effect, like all over. It's so good.
Would it be sacrilege if I just double fist this with water?
No, you can drink water with it. Just don't dump the water in it.
All right.
This is about the time last year where I brought out the old Rasputin barrel aged. That was no good.
See, last time we did this, I knew I was in trouble because when I laid down into the bed and closed my eyes, I started doing backflips. That I lament the days of your parties in Baltimore when I could just drink like a race car and just go to bed and like, wee, this is a carousel, this is fun. And I wake up the next morning, ooh, bit of a headache. I'll have some ramen noodles with breakfast. And by 11 a.m., you're ready. Your liver is a 2-stroke engine that just takes stuff in and spits it back out again.
At 35, that's not how it works. This is a beer for sitting around and like you should have this beer in a snifter. Like we have very large glasses, which is great. It's not the ideal shape, but it's
right.
Somebody asked this last time, what's the best car to lose your virginity in? And I'm saying this is
it's got to be a crappy car, but it's got to be big. What did Barrett drive after the Mustang? He had a 4-door, and I slept in it once at Eric's house because someone was snoring really bad.
It's probably me.
No, it was like, I think it was a combination of everybody was still up and I really wanted to go to bed, and it was summertime, so it was cool and I could sleep without a blanket.
It was red.
Yeah, it was a sedan. I remember we rode in that car going to see The Matrix up at Laurel Mall. We listened to Propeller Heads all the way. And
the car doesn't matter. It has to be your own, and that's it. That's fair.
That's fair.
You know, if you're in Mr. Bean's car,
yeah,
you're not going to get much done. Jeep Liberty. Was it a Jeep or was it a sedan?
It was a sedan. It was Mopar.
Lost my virginity.
Chrysler. He had a Dodge Intrepid. That's what he had.
It was
Intrepid. Dodge
yes.
Intrepid.
I'm reasonably sure it was red or maroon, like burgundy.
Yeah, it was a dark color. Barrett.
to Barrett.
I was at, there's a brew pub that opened in Kutztown in an old car dealership on Kutztown Road near Kutztown Airport. And one of the guys I was lonely and I said, hey, anybody want to go out tonight? It was Friday. And we all went to this place and like 3 or 4 people showed up and Dante Maglinelli was there. And he's an MMA instructor at the racquetball club. So we went out after class. And one of the guys works with Barrett. Barrett's his immediate boss. And I said, this is really weird. And he said, well, Barrett's my boss.
Barrett.
And I asked, well, how's Barrett as a boss? Well, he's kind of hands off, doesn't say much.
Yep, sounds like Barrett.
Barrett.
1981 Pontiac Bonneville. My grandparents had an old Bonneville.
Was it
silver?
silver?
In '86, it was silver.
Your mom drove us up to some mall up the Gordonongo Trail, like right when I met you.
Yeah. Yeah. Then my parents got a Bonneville, like a newer one. Leather trim. And
It was green.
orange. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It had a tape cassette
Suburban.
player.
I think a Suburban would be fine.
Oh, you can bang in every
Forget
part of that
about-
car.
Yeah. And a Ford Explorer. Thanks, dad joke. Hugo Silva. Nice one. That looks like a porter. To refresh your memory here, this is Uncle Jacob's Stout. It's 16.9%, aged 6 months in bourbon barrels and 2 years in the bottle. It's a hell of a beer. It's a beer that you want to...
Yeah.
It's a beer that you want to
I'm glad.
smoke a cigar with.
Dude,
I want to smoke a cigar right now.
I do want to smoke a cigar right
I'm
now.
gonna bring in cigars.
Cigars International is definitely closed by
Regular
now.
cigar reviews.
Man, if Matt Walsh would be here, this would be good.
It's like having a whiskey. It's not
It
quite
is.
as whiskey-y, but it you know.
It helps my baritone voice. Oh,
yes.
Ford Explorer 2006
Do you guys
was
like
my
Rush?
first car.
Who doesn't like Rush? Rush is awesome.
You gotta have ice water going through your veins to not like Rush. I can't get out.
Fucking pert.
I can't get out of this character, which is me, but it's like a different version of me.
Best car for sex is a Mercury Panther body. Sex Panther body. Rush sucks. I mean, I think they're pretty good.
Did you know that a diesel passenger van AMG once existed? Explorer? I didn't even know her.
There you go. I've had Imperial. I have had Imperial. It's fine. It's got a little eagle on it. Yeah, that's fine. It's one of those yellow, regional yellow beers. They all kind of taste pretty similar. You bought a Miata? You're a hairdresser.
Careful with that joke. It's an antique. On a well-worn, yeah.
Bought a Zima.
Where did this come? Where did that come from?
This is the 6-pack that I got the beers in at Weiss Markets.
That's what they had.
They just have a bunch of 6-packs there, and you can just grab one. So Zima is back, like everything else from the 90s.
90s.
Zima is back. People realize that millennials, they have money, but they only want to spend it on avocados and things that remind them of their childhood.
Yeah.
And so we have Fuller House and Zima returning.
Yeah.
And you know,
Lunchables is still around. Thanks, Dad.
exactly, right? It's back in Pog form. Bud Ice, beer of the 90s. Nice. That's with the little penguin, right? Doobie doobie doo.
Mr. Regular, surely you've been doing this long enough to have the opportunity to review a hearse. You don't know me. Could I do a hearse and get over it? I don't know.
I mean, what? That's like reviewing an ambulance or something, right? It has a very particular purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, it's not a regular car.
No.
It is a car.
There are car clubs for hearses. Like guys who will buy hearses and have them.
Do they give ghost tours in New England towns? I've probably met one of those dudes.
They have names like Troy and Francis. Hearses.
Drag race the hearse in the 70s era.
Yeah, there are guys who do that. I mean,
we're racing for pinks, and there's a body inside. Racing for pinks. Sound like I'm trying to be cool.
For a brief period during college, I wanted a hearse to be that guy because I was searching for ways to be unique.
Best car in high school? Best, like, quirky car in high school? Jess, what's her name, had a mail truck.
Yes!
Awesome.
Yes! White.
That was the best car.
It was right-hand drive.
Yep.
It was a mail Jeep. Sliding door to get in and out. So they could open the door and, like, if they had to reach far or in some sort of tight spot, the door didn't swing open. It slid open.
It was amazing.
Mail Jeep. She said it sucked. It was horrible.
I'm sure
it did.
But it's a very cool, like,
mail
from
Jeep.
the outside, very cool car. Somebody asked before, have you ever had a Four Loko before the government cracked down on it? Yes.
I never did.
I did a Four Loko tasting one night, and I got like 4 or 5 flavors, and I had probably the equivalent of 2 cans, and all I wanted to do was fight. Like, I went to bed because I was drunk, and all I was sitting in my bed just like, yeah, all I want to do is fight my friend Joey.
Was this an undergrad?
That was a graduate school. Like you do. All I want to do is fight. I was like, no wonder people get in trouble with this stuff. Like, I've never fought anybody, obviously. And I really wanted to get in a fight with my friend Joey. This dude.
What did Joey do?
Nothing. I wanted to fight like for fun. And this dude Charles, he would drink Four Loko, and then he'd be like, "Hey man, I want you to slap me as hard as you can." And I'd be like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." He's like, "No, seriously, it's fine. Just slap me as hard as you can." And I'd be like, like, nah, dude, like, no, just, maybe you're not understanding me. I want you to slap me across the face as hard as, I was like, what is wrong with you? He's like, I only had like 3, 4 Locos. It's weird, man.
I had Sparks.
Oh, Sparks, yeah.
I had Sparks and no, but we were with a mutual friend of Brian Shoup. I was at Mary Rix's house. She went to University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and we went to like Joey's liquor store.
God.
And we bought a bottle of like Yellowtail, and I bought a Sparks, and I drank the Sparks, and then we got into the Yellowtail, and I went on this long positive rant about Ed Randell.
Ed Rendell, the governor of
Pennsylvania at the time,
who claims to have started the thing where people threw snowballs and booed Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Right, got it. Okay.
And I made a shirt which predates this. I had a shirt with Ed Randell's face. I wish I still had this.
I didn't know you're such a big Ed Rendell fan. Wow.
I didn't know anything about politics.
Some Pennsylvania shit going down right now.
No, here was the shirt. It had Ed Randell's face with like a MS Paint star around it and the word kapow. I'm not joking. That's my shirt.
Wow.
And it was Ed Randell's face. It was one of those screenshots when he was giving a speech, and it was like,
kapow. That's funny.
Because what did I know about politics in 2003? I voted for John Kerry. That was the beginning and end of it.
Somebody said somebody's hating on UNBC. It's not so bad. They have a good chemical engineering program, actually.
Ugh. I can't. I keep drinking it like beer, and it's not beer. That's wine.
No, it's not. It's
not beer.
It's more has more alcohol than most wines, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's delicious. Pennsylvania sounds like a meme.
We're an odd state. We're not a state.
Yeah,
we're a commonwealth. There was one joke on QI where
QI. Stephen Fry,
there you go. Thank you. Said, how many states are in the United States? And someone said 50, and wrong. There were in fact 47 states.
There's 4 commonwealths.
Oh, 46 states.
Mm-hmm.
Us, Massachusetts.
Yep.
New Hampshire?
Nope.
Oh.
Citizen B. The 4 commonwealths in the United States are Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, as you said. Anybody else know before we spoil
Before you Google it.
What are the 4 commonwealths in the United States that are not states? Kentucky, yes. And the other one is...
They keep saying Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. There's one more. Virginia. Yes, very good.
Virginia's a commonwealth.
Well done. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Quebec.
Quebec.
No, it's Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Kentucky, and Virginia.
Huh.
I don't know if you know this, but I did place second in the Pennsylvania State Citizen Bee in 2003. So I got that going for me, which is nice. Sparks was like drinking antifreeze. Quebec strong. Tabarnak! Tabarnak! Oh, yeah. I learned a lot when I was in Quebec, and one thing that I learned is that their curses have a lot to do with like the church. Like tabarnak is like it's not like motherfucker, but it's kind of like fucking in terms of the curse of valence.
Fucking the church.
It means a tabernacle. Yeah, Calice, there's another one, the chalice. Yeah. There's all kinds of like church-related curses. We went to Quebec and Tabernacle's high tier. Yeah, so like motherfucking between fucking and motherfucker, right? I mean, yeah.
A high tier swear.
We went to Quebec and I was like, I speak French. Let's do this. And I spoke like French 1 and no one understood me at all. And I basically just learned to say, "Can we have the English menu, please?"
Mm-hmm. I thought you did pretty well.
And I taught this guy to say,
"Désolé, je suis américain."
Yeah, Désolé, je suis American. Please cook my steak again. Je suis American. Désolé, je ne parle pas français. Yeah.
Ben Folds.
He was like, teach me something that I can say.
And I still fucked it up.
Yeah. I just said désolé. Désolé, je ne parle pas.
Do you remember...
Try learning Welsh.
Oh.
Maybe one day I'll try that. Toril. I don't know what a toril is. Is that the host? Osti. There's a Estia. There's something that's the host, right? Is the another. Bonne ma gang de malade.
Mr. Regular, you and the Romans should do the Lemons Rally. I want to do the Lemons Rally. They say they're going to do Retreat from Moscow again this year, but I'm going to be in New Zealand, so... Hey, I'll buy a car to do it, and I know Lemons Rally, you're supposed to buy a $500 car. I'm going to buy like a $3,000 car because I want to finish the rally. I'll do it with Justin Kramer again. Justin Kramer bought a Ford LTD for $400. And by the end of it, the whole head gasket was leaking and all sorts of stuff. But Justin Kramer is a slave to punishment. He loves it. And he's a good guy. Justin Kramer, if you ever met him, he's from Slatington. And he owns Catasauqua Auto Repair. Imagine if Neil Lutz became a mechanic. That's Justin Kramer. Ever thought doing a RCR at a big car auction like Mecum, or like I have that money? No, Mecum auctions. Barrett Jackson. I mean, I'd go just to like watch the people pretend to be rich. Matt Farah was talking about they're not loan sharks, but there are people who hang around at those car auctions, the big fancy car auctions that will front you the money for your...
And then $100K, I'll front you $100K, you know? I just, give me that, and maybe I scratch your back and scratch mine. That's the kind of wise, huh? Next week you get your legs broken. Don't eat expired eggs that you cooked a week ago.
Good.
Yeah. Eggs last a long time in the shell. But don't eat them after that. Lemons Racer here. Only 30% of our cars are actually $500 cars, and half of them still blow up.
Nice. Well, that's a Lemons race. I talked to Steph Schrader, and she says the budget for a Lemons race car is still about $20,000 once you factor in most of the safety equipment. Lemons Rally, on the other hand, that takes advantage for the nice thing when they do a Lemons Rally in Pennsylvania is in Pennsylvania, when you buy a car, you have 10 days to get it inspected. And
so you buy the car 9 days before the rally. Yeah.
Well, the rally is a few days long, but yeah, the tradition is to buy it the night before, or maybe it's like a day before. Get tires on it, and off you go. I gotta pee again. I am in no mood to give my liver any challenge. I am at that moment.
We're out of beer.
Where everything's good.
I don't have a surprise beer.
Thank you. I'm at that moment where I'm nicely cruising.
Yeah.
Remember the Millvale Neon. And that's my mantra for not drinking past the point of yield, or not drinking past yield. And yield is a car term, or oh boy, I closed my eyes for a second.
I think you're a little more than Chris in that if you just close your eyes.
Yep.
Jancy 1992. This is another edition of Regular Beer Reviews. We've just we just tasted our 7th beer, which is Avery's Uncle Jacob Stout. It's 17%. Which explains my Mr. Regular is regretting his life choices.
Yeah.
At the moment.
I'm gonna pee again.
Go pee.
All right.
In the meantime, if you ask me a car question, I have no idea My daily driver is a Honda Civic, and I have 3 kids, so I just bought a Toyota Highlander hybrid. So you can form your own opinions of me. And in the meantime, no, I've never butt chugged. Here are the beers that we've had so far. Flying Dog Imperial Pilsner Family Drama. It was between this and Tweak. I didn't get a Tweak. Yeah. I didn't get a Tweak. Tweak's very good too, but Uncle Jacob's just has a very Christmassy feel to me. This beer, I don't know if it's going to focus. 16.9%. Well, we had Flying Dog Family Drama. We had Melvin 2x4, which there might be a little bit of that. Ooh, there's a little bit of that. Melvin 2x4, Culty out of Wyoming. We had Sour Monkey from Victory, which was very good. Probably my favorite beer of the night, actually. We had Knockoff Mad Elf, which is called Rude Elf. Could you guys actually hear him peeing?
That's awesome. These
Left the
mics
door
are
open.
amazing. I'm going to make myself a not alcoholic beverage. I'm going to be right back.
We had Vendel Imperial Stout from Kelson Brewing Company in New Hampshire. And we had Uncle Jacob's. We also had French Toast Crunch Porter, which tastes exactly like French Toast Crunch. He was also gargling. I don't know what he was gargling. Probably cock. What were you gargling in there? I have not tried Mad Elf Grand Cru.
I was gargling store brand Listerine
Why?
to ruin my palate so I don't get tempted to drink
You
any
still have a
more
little
beer.
bit of Uncle Jacob's left.
No, I don't.
We haven't seen most of these beers. Well, I can give you the recap, or you can go back and watch it after this. Sour Monkey was my favorite. It's really good. Fegley's Mad Elf, ripoff, which is Rude Elf. Vodka root beer, splash of Red Bull. Tastes like candy root beer barrel. That's fine. Barrow Brick says, need some Tactical Nuclear Penguin. Yeah, if we could get it. The Tactical Nuclear Penguin's like 50-some%. So, I've never had it. I've never had any of those like big ones. I'm sure it's not very good. I don't know. The French Toast Crunch I liked just because it tastes exactly like French Toast Crunch. What did you drink in college? A lot of Yingling.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Baltimore lot Natty Bow. And Backfin Pale Ale, actually, which is from, is it Clipper City? I went to college in Baltimore, so Backfin, I think it's from Clipper City Brewing. Yeah, a lot of Backfin, a lot of Natty Bow. Oh, it's from Clay Pipe Brewing Company. And Natty Bow and a lot of Yingling. How many times a month you go to Shady
As
Maple?
Pennsylvanians, how many times a month you go to Shady? Oh,
What's
I've
that?
never been to Shady Maple.
Is that a?
It's a
Amusement park?
smorgasbord down in the Reading area, I
Is
think.
it like an old country buffet?
Or is that further down south? Yeah, it's pretty much one of those things.
Ooh,
But it's like, do you remember the scene from Fargo where they're eating dinner at the thing and they're just like, it's like I have a baby and I'm just. Shady Maple is. It's a place that my friend Matt Walsh brings people who are visiting from other countries. He's like, we're going to go to Shady Maple.
This is what America is like. I'm unsubscribing because of Listerine.
Now I'm drinking my favorite get over it drink, which is just
It's very fancy.
like this.
The fanciest. Are those what?
Blueberries.
Blueberries?
Frozen blueberries and seltzer water.
Wow. It's good to be an internet sensation.
I buy the essential everyday brand. Blueberries. Sometimes I buy strawberries. Honestly, dude, like this, like if you, like for people who want to kick soda, you want the bubbles, you want something sweet, and there's going to be nothing in it. Just put frozen fruit into a glass and put seltzer water on it. Don't even buy that lime stuff, the stuff that has flavoring in it. Just buy the carbonated water. And then occasionally balls go in your mouth, and then you can crunch them up. I'm aware of the innuendo.
Polosataya kolbasa. I don't know what that means. But
You can read that?
Kielbasa is a pretty good sausage that they make around here. If you want a real good kielbasa, go to Kovalenix in Shenandoah. That's the place where everybody gets kielbasa around here. Bourgeois card. Polosataya kolbasa. How'd I do, Will Tiralt?
Flavored seltzer water has a bad habit of tasting like butt. Well, it's all just like maybe like aspartame or something like that in there.
It's just CO2 and like a little bit of essential oil of whatever.
This has nothing in it. This is just water and carbon
Best
dioxide.
t-shirt size and material to masturbate into.
Well, clearly double XL.
Now you don't. You don't want the. There's some t-shirt materials that are like the jersey material that are a little bit less absorbent. You want like the $3 t-shirt from Joanne Fabrics.
You want a shirt that was given to you that you want. You want to jerk off into a shirt that was delivered to you through a cannon.
Try to relive that moment. Congratulations, you're old and responsible.
Remember the Millvale Neon.
Do you guys like Rolling Rock? It has its place.
It has its place. Its place is in the cup holder on the side of a John Deere lawn tractor.
Or it's at a trivia night when you're trying to set the record for drinking most pitchers of Rolling Rock in a night.
Christ.
The Rulofs in Ithaca. It's not a good beer, but it has its place. I think if you want to pound a six-pack, you get home from work or whatever, and you want to pound some beers and crush some beers, you could do worse than Rolling Rock for sure. All right, I'm gonna pee this time. Okay, now you can ask car questions.
We got to wrap this up in 15 minutes.
Oh, I got a lot of Uncle Jacobs to drink.
You can take some of this home, man.
Not open. Not in the car.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We got laws against that.
We talked about this.
What is a good root beer? You're asking the wrong question. The right root beer is sarsaparilla, and it's made by a company called A Treat from Pennsylvania. Yeah, he's asked. I like pain. I like to know what I'm in for. See, when I get alcohol in me, I'm ready for prime time. You are listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR Kutztown, broadcasting at 88.3 FM, 1670 AM, and online at kurkutztown.edu.
Yellow?
I want it.
You want to feel like you're healthy? Like you feel like you're being sanitized so it can't taste good?
Yeah.
Yellow Listerine. Oh my god, I didn't even know they sold that shit anymore.
Would you like to try some?
No. Are we fine with this, Uncle Jake? Yellow Listerine, guys. Unbelievable.
Dude,
although
it
makes total sense. Knowing you, it makes total sense. I'm from Wisconsin, and I'm in high school. All my friends around me drink trash beer. That's fine. When you grow up, insert name, you should try some New Glarus. That'll
One
be
guy
Spotted
says, which
Cow will be
water
good
ice
intro to
is
beer.
best water ice? Be Cool Eateritas.
Menards Sprecher. Is that from, like, Menards, like the Midwestern big box store? Save big money at Menards. Kutztown root beer is pretty good. You mean from Kutztown Brewery?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I guess
pretty
that's
good.
what he's saying.
Yellow Listerine. Can't get over that shit. I do.
Why?
I do purple.
Why?
I do purple.
Do you need flavoring in your...
I do purple because it's fluoride.
Oh, it does.
Mm.
That's the antiseptic. Is that also antiseptic?
Yeah.
All right.
But that's the original, like, what's the guy's name? Jacob Lister, who discovered the Listeria bacteria
Yeah.
and developed Listerine.
Yeah.
That's like his original formula of yellow. Hey, you want to kill some bacteria? Have some yellow. Wow, yellow.
They don't. I have to look.
Sing for
I'll
us,
have to look
Roman.
at the supermarket.
I'm not the
around
Roman, but bring. What do I have outside? Oh, Nissan. I'm gonna get me a Quest so I can be the best. Nissan Quest is the best. Roman. I like Nick and I like his songs, but that was a bad impression of him.
Yeah.
That's the best I could do.
See, Nick has this weird mix of country and
Listeria sucks. I like that. Yeah. Unstoppable diarrhea is the worst, isn't it?
I'm thinking I'm gonna need another one of these, and then I'm gonna wake up at 4:10 a.m.
Listerine was for
pee.
cleaning your junk. Larkspur lotion is what you would do for that. That's what prostitutes would do anyway. Sounds like Tenacious D. That was like not a terrible Roman impression though, right? It's all right. Bring.
See, I thought you were gonna go brandy wine. Brandy wine. I'm going to go get laid at brandy wine.
A nasty yellow Listerine and Climate. If you want to neti pot some Listerine, I'd watch that. I'd watch that on the YouTube.
I'd watch that on YouTube Red.
I'd watch that on what's it?
Vimeo.
What's the site where you can upload your own porn?
Oh, YouPorn.
RedTube.
RedTube.
Or YouPorn, yeah. YouPorn.
Well, you got YouPorn. You got RedTube. You've got X. You got X Hamster. You've got XTube.
Krasnaya vodka.
And hang it in there from 2001.
Klasyczeskaya. Krasnaya. What is Krasnaya? I know vodka. Vodka, that's vodka. Arrow share. Krasnaya. I don't know what it
Mr.
is.
Regular Porn Reviews. Here's the thing about porn.
Yellow Listerine at 10 a.m.
I like to believe that she, or in, well, okay, we're going to have to bisect this. The guys who are filming themselves jerking off, they're doing that because they want you to know what they're about. The girls, there are a few who enjoy showing you their body, and I understand that. If I'm clicking on a porn video and it's clearly produced, I'm immediately out of the fantasy because I know there's craft services involved, even if it's just White Castle.
I know there's craft services.
Okay.
So there's a union. There's an equity. Is there an equity for porn actors?
Did you just pour my mouthwash into a glass?
Oh shit. Regular Listerine reviews.
You went into my bathroom and got my...
Compared to original Listerine.
Yeah.
Equiline.
It's $1 less.
It's from the Dollar General. Distributed by Super Value Inc. It's the yellow Listerine.
Are you going to drink that or spit it back out? Well, either way, I'm washing that glass.
It pours a... it looks like Irish whiskey. But chug it. Off-brand regular mouthwash. I can't get over the yellow. What? Ooh. Actually. So it's
RCR, what's your opinion on people raising the price of cars, making them overpriced by $2,000 to $3,000 on Craigslist just because you reviewed said car? Look, Adam Smith's invisible hand, it moves. What are you gonna do?
Back to regular Listerine reviews. We got a medicinal aroma. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. I prefer, if it's cloudy and brown,
You're in cider
town. If it's clear and yellow, that's juice you got there, fella.
Active ingredients. You
Ooh,
alcohol.
it's very medicinal.
0.029.
A little bit. I mean, what some? I'm
menthol.
Spit it out.
Menthol salactylate.
Methyl salicylate. That's what it. Yeah.
And thymol. Use.
Thymol is from thyme. Okay, I have an empty beer bottle here to spit it into. Methyl salicylate is wintergreen oil. So. If you neti pot this, yeah, I'll do $1 a month to your Patreon. Yeah. You can smell the wintergreen for sure. It's like a wintergreen, but like also really medicinal, like 19th century medicinal. Like you're going to a doctor and this is what you smell.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
How long can you keep it in your mouth? It burns. It's working.
Oh my god. It burns as much as regular Listerine without the like pleasant, sweet. Ah, god. How can it... You know, the blue is the same price, and it tastes like mint. But you feel like. Okay. You feel like when you're at the dentist.
Yeah.
Like when you're getting your teeth clean and they go like really in there. Just really get in there. It feels good.
Yeah.
Because you're getting this gunk removed from you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't taste good.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Jesus. Poured myself quite a bit of this.
Brian's just hardcore like that. Yeah,
What year? What year Listerine is it? Okay, Mister. I'm also frugal. Yeah, he's frugal, but the blue and the green and the purple are the same price. You just want the pain without the pleasure.
I know what I'm about, son.
Right? I guess. I don't know. I like pleasure spiked with pain, and music is my aeroplane. Yeah.
I swish that every morning. Not every morning, but...
I mean, you may as well use Jack Daniels. I mean, at this point. Neti Pot Everclear, I'd watch that too. Drew from Toothpaste for Dinner
Yes.
did, was it Jack Daniels? Some kind of whiskey. Some kind of bourbon.
He showed it. It was like a single malt something.
Yeah, that does not work.
No, it was first water, and then he did coffee.
Yeah.
And
water, coffee, and then
scotch.
Scotch. At least your mouth is nice and disinfected now. Yeah, I've wrecked my oral microbiome. I need to wash that down with some French toast crunch porter.
I'm gonna take my mouthwash back to my bathroom.
Thank you, Scuzzy J, for my getting my catcher reference. This guy really wants to know what favorite Rush song is. I don't know. Subdivisions, says Mr. Regular. Vodka and cinnamon. Brush your teeth with Jack Daniels. Call yourself Mr. Regular at R. Yeah, it's the pain without the pleasure. That's what it is. Blood-brain barrier be damned. As a chemical engineer, I approve that post.
Bees are dying right now, and your people are drinking. Coach sees him been drinking Listerine. Great.
Cepacol. Oh my God, Cepacol is terrible too. That might be off-brand Listerine. Might be equal to regular Cepacol. Peroxide.
Listerine can be up to 50 proof. I just Googled it. Where are you serious alcoholics? Get down with a great bottle of hand sanitizer.
I spit that one out. No. There's nothing left. Oh, there's some Sour Monkey.
Do you listen to Creed? Look, son, we grew up in the 90s.
Swish with some Sour Monkey.
We know about Creed. I'm Scott Stapp. We're not a Christian band, meanwhile. In every music video.
I don't even need to do it. Can you take me higher? Random reviews. Why are you so concerned about net neutrality? It's over, man. Game over, man. Yeah, it sucks. The ruling sucks.
See you played Knifey Spoony before.
Does Uber deliver booze? I've only used Uber Eats. I haven't asked for a beer.
How's that work?
Uber Eats is you order from a place and then an Uber driver goes and picks up your food and brings it to you. And it's very expensive.
Wow.
But it was like $2.45 and the place was closing at 3 and I wasn't going to make it there. It cost like $30 for pizza. It was not great.
Wow.
Is French toast porter... It's French toast crunch porter. And it is part of this complete breakfast.
Campo says, I just got here. Why are you drinking beer with ice? Because the night is over for me.
Yeah.
It's 1:30 in the morning.
He's drinking seltzer water with blueberries.
Yeah. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Both have fresh breath. Are you going to make out? I was going to say Tom Sawyer, but that sounded too basic. I like Tom Sawyer.
9, 8. 10 to 9. 9 to 8. Okay, if I go to bed at 2 and wake up at 10,
That's 8 hours.
That's 8 hours.
There you go.
There you go.
What's your fave memes?
My favorite meme is the LA Chargers mascot just going, "It begins," because their mascot is just a man's face on a lightning bolt wearing sunglasses, and it's just... Have you ever seen it?
No.
All right. I'm going to get my phone.
No, the memes.
You have kids, so the internet has done a few things
I know
since
some
you're in your
memes.
absence.
I know what the kids like vis-a-vis the memes. Basic time. If you had a choice, Corona or Blue Moon, Blue Moon. Also, the guy that brews Blue Moon, I forget his name at the moment. He has a very rich baritone voice. He has a very sexy voice, actually. Go find a Blue Moon commercial with the brewer in it. He's like, "Hello, I brew Blue Moon with a sweet Valencia oranges." It's amazing. Holy crap! The LA Chargers mascot clogged my nose. I've seen that. I did not know it was the Chargers mascot.
It began.
How did you get into Vaporwave?
I got into
Do
Vaporwave.
you actually like Vaporwave? Or you like it ironically like everyone else?
I like it sincerely.
Oh, God.
To the point that I have vaporware mixes on my Sansa clip for when I get on airplanes. It works really well, and my favorite artist is Vectroid, the album Neo Kali.
Wow.
It makes me think of the Frackville Mall in a hyped up version of my memory. Is that your impression of Vaporwave?
That's like the Wii background music.
Oh.
Synthwave. Synthwave, yes. Empoo T. Are you from Finland or something with the double P's? Yes. I'm a synthwave guy. I like synthwave. I like Mitch Murder. It's probably my favorite synthwave artist.
I like how, whatever that symbol is, Corp. I know that one.
Oh, you know what made me think of that? Because Drew from 2000 Generators posted a thing that was like, North Korean propaganda looks a lot better when it's set to the Wii music. And it's like them launching a nuclear warhead to the United States to the background of the Wii music. Y'all listen to math rock? What does that even mean?
Are you talking about MathNet?
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Chemical engineering classes, how hard are they? Scale from 1 to 10. How good at math are you, Wesley K? If you're terrible at math, 10. If you're good at math, 7 or 8.
Best place to smoke cigarettes during... There was... One guy says, best place to smoke cigarettes during high school lunch. I had Mr. Cope for freshman science because I'm dumb. And he taught, like...
Ed Cope.
Eurobeat. I wasn't in remedial classes. Like, our high school, there was 3 levels. There was standard, college prep, and honors. We all knew what was up. If you're college prep, that means you're regular. If you're honors, you're above. And if you're standard, you're an idiot. And if you were smart, you went to Votech and skipped all this noise. Which, looking back, maybe I probably could have gone to Votech and learned a few things. But the meandering Thames-like river that is my life led me here. So
I think it'd be easier for you to go writing career to mechanical career
Yeah.
than the other way around.
Yeah.
I think you would learn a lot about engines, but I don't think you'd be publishing
Right.
about. I don't think you'd be making any. Who'd you write your thesis on?
My thesis was contrasting binaries and sister carrier.
Yeah. No Theodore Dreiser references there at the Votech.
Yeah.
I like your story arc.
Thanks.
I think it's a lot. I think you'd be very good at fixing cars.
I probably would have made an alright mechanic. I mean, I learned a few things. A big shining moment working on the Falcon is when I was standing there with Tony Rumble, and he's like, all right, here's a MIG welder. You ever used one of these things before? No. All right, well, just drag it along this piece of scrap metal here and just try to keep it steady. And I did it, and I didn't go straight across. I'm going on here. I didn't go straight across because I saw some video of a guy when making a weld, he went like this. He made a figure 8 and dragged it across, and I did that. And Tony Rumble said to me, you sure this is the first time you did this? And I felt like $1 million when he said that, because I never welded with a MIG welded before. I have welded before that moment in 8th grade shop class. If you got done every bit of wood shop in that, Mr. Savage would let you go back and use the arc welder. Or whatever it was. It was the ones that you get that little sparkler and you stick it on the end of a jumper cable and you drag that across. Whatever that is, I did that. And I made a few I made like scepters. I like welded lawnmower blades together. And
he did. It's true.
I did, yeah. And I like that a lot.
Yes.
What did guys say?
Our shop teacher in high school was the Macho Man Randy Savage. Who's gonna make a rocking horse out of wood? Oh yeah. The Russian guy here is asking. Hang on. Let me show off my Cyrillic knowledge. Какого ваше мнение о gay porno? What is your favorite gay porno? What's your favorite gay porno? I don't know.
Are we talking like themes here, or are you asking me for a
recommendation?
Porn star? Look,
I want to be a mechanic.
I don't want to see the guy's face, because what if I recognize him later? Just shoot him from here down. We know what we're about.
Wesley K. I want to be a mechanic. I liked it. I think mechie might be the area for you if you want to be a mechanic. Chemical engineering, if you want to learn about, if you want to go into petroleum and know how different combinations of crude make different or different fuels make different things happen. But if you really like the ins and outs of moving things around, then I think you should be a mechie instead of a chemi. When are you gonna review another Subaru?
Subaru. Impossible.
Are you a stoner? I'm high as fuck.
Well, the paperwork went through in Pennsylvania to legalize medical marijuana.
Studying mechie at RIT. Brick City.
Ah!
Barrett went there.
Barrett.
Laserhawk's good too.
Laserhawk is good.
This guy, Empoo. Are you Finnish or what? Empoo T. Gunship.
Will you do an 8th generation Impala? We did the Impala LT. Is the 8th generation one from the 90s? I can't remember. Any chance of you coming to Romania?
It's very nice. Romania. Speaking of Mechie, you should run for a Formula SAE car. Actually, if you do come to Ames, you should. I don't think they'll let you
drive
the solar car, but we have a solar car that's done very well in international competitions.
All right. I mean, it's a bunch of scaffolding, and they broke apart a bunch of calculators.
Yeah, it's basically a bunch of calculators.
To put it.
OPEX.
Did you visit Sacramento on my West Coast trip? Nope, never been there.
I've been to Sacramento.
Yeah?
It's okay. It's nice.
You need a review of the 3000 GT? Yes, I do. Freddie Hernandez had one for a little bit. What's my favorite flag? I don't know. Ask Tom. He went to that one place. Do you remember that one time where you were with, like, your mom was in the car and you were saying, I'm going to buy a flag. And your mom says, where do you buy flags?
And there was a place that had a big sign that said, we sell flags.
Your
favorite flag? That's a great question.
Canada's is pretty good. Very friendly.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Tells you what they're about.
Yep.
Maple syrup.
Yep.
The Iowa flag is pretty terrible. Actually, it's not great.
Pennsylvania's
a lot of
flag
state
is...
flags are terrible. Pennsylvania's flag has horses on it.
Yeah. It's a coat of arms.
I really like the Colorado flag, actually.
Just the C
yes,
and
Time
the
Cop
star.
1983 is great. Colorado's flag, look it up. It's awesome. It's a great design thing. Great design thing. It's a stellar recommendation there. You review a Kia Stinger. Which U.S. state has the British Union Jack in its flag? Hawaii. Hawaii? Is that correct? Life in 413? As long as we're doing state trivia here. Pennsylvania is basically Iowa with Amish people. Yeah.
Well, we got the 5th largest city in the country. So I think. Are we 3rd? Or Philly's pretty up there.
It's
Philadelphia.
Rural Iowa is very much like rural Pennsylvania. It's not quite as farmy. Pennsylvania is not quite as farmy as Iowa. I mean, it's
yeah, it's farmy. It's mine.
Corn and soy, baby. All day long.
What are your thoughts on a first-gen 1995 to 2004 Toyota Tacoma? Great truck.
Recommendations on beard oil. Don't ask me. We've been growing this since November.
Want to review my 92 Civic hatch with 250 wheel horsepower? All right, so it's not a K-Series engine in there. What'd you put in there?
11413. I think I was right about Hawaii. I'm going to look it up now. Hawaii flag. Boom.
People
Hawaii.
keep asking me if I'm down to hotbox. See, the thing is, if you get me high, you better be down with platonic hugs. Because they're coming. Ask Eric Pedersen. He knows what I'm talking about.
Got all kinds of hugs up in this piece.
I asked Matt Farah for an edible. He gave me one, and all I wanted to do was cuddle Eric Pedersen.
Well,
I need tactile input.
What is the best shade of brown?
Why do Chryslers have such a distinct starter sound? That's a very good question. Ask Justin Kramer that. Because, okay, you got your starter motor, and it's attached to either the flex plate or the flywheel. Both of them have teeth on it. And then from there, it turns the crankshaft, and that's it. So what 3 or 4 things make the noise? You got your starter solenoid, you got your starter motor, you got either flex plate or flywheel. I'm thinking it's gonna be All right. Do starter motors have commutator bars just like any other motor? Because the noise that the starter motor makes is the commutator. Is it commutator bars and bushes, or are they brushless motors? Because electricity doesn't really make noise itself. It's just
Friction.
yeah, exactly. It's friction.
This is I'm way out of my element here. Somebody asked if you're going to the upper Midwest. Does Iowa Griffin, what's your Griffin?
Patrick O'Connor says starter motors are not brushless. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Well, there you go. Griffin and Zach. Will you ever come to the upper Midwest? Does that count? Does the upper Midwest mean Iowa?
Have I ever done classic Datsuns? No, I haven't.
Datsun. Drive the shiny Datsuns and Buicks. Back to the phone company. Hey, all right, Life in the 413. You tried to stump me. Didn't work. Where's 413 anyway?
462 the
is
fuck.
It in Hawaii? 413.
Tom, we need to probably wrap this up in like the next couple of minutes.
Oh, Massachusetts. Western Mass. All right. How about you drive through Reading or Pottsville and try not to get shot? I think you'd have a better chance of getting shot in Reading than Pottsville, but Sheryl Crow. There you go.
Is a Cressida for good first car? No, it is not. Good luck finding parts for that.
Sufkaz says, I wouldn't be against you doing more game reviews. One of these regular beer reviews turned into playing Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah, it did.
Totally wasted.
Yeah.
And killing all the Kerbal guys.
Yeah.
We're not good at that game.
Nope. I am not good at that game. 1990
Uncle
Chevy
Jacobs.
Corsica. Wow. Who drove a Corsica? There was a Corsica somewhere.
Man, Beth drove a Chevy Corsica for a long time. It was white. Have you had Bell's Two Hearted? Yes. That's a great go-to. Chenny asked me earlier in the program, what's my go-to? Bell's Two Hearted is excellent.
I pee. I poop.
I poop.
I poop and then I pee.
I poop too much. And then I get tired. Two Hearted is an excellent beer. Really great go-to. In fact, recently voted by Zymergy the best beer in the country. Golik. I don't know what Golik is. I know what Pokaji is. Will Tieralt, I don't know what you're trying to do here. Last time you asked what our favorite time of gay porn was. Yeah, you are a Finnish. All right, I knew it. Kind of a linguistics nerd in my spare time. Just get your friends in NZ to get some double brown. Was the Boxing Day tsunami? Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes, of course. I mean, why do you need proof that there's no... I think you need proof that there is a God before you're saying there's proof there's no God. I mean, the extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Who's the guy on the left? That's me. I'm the beer guy. That's a Lagunitas IPA. Lagunitas. If you get a beer from Lagunitas, it's going to taste like weed. Because they literally put it on the bottle that they're trying to get beer that tastes like weed. They're like Northern Cal. They're from Petaluma, which has a very good In-N-Out. Petaluma. Petaluma is a place where people try and brew beer that tastes like weed. And so if you want a Lagunitas beer, it's gonna smell and taste a lot like some dank weed. In and Out is overrated.
I liked it.
I mean, if you hype it up,
it's gonna disappoint you. But
hello from Minersville. Look at that.
Who's this guy? Hello from Minersville, Lake Williala,
Lake Why Live Here. Lake Winona. How can you be from Minersville and Lake Winona? They're like 15 minutes away.
Yeah. In your opinion, what's the worst car you've reviewed? Reviewed or driven? The worst car I reviewed was that Ford Festiva that was from the wonderful state of Illinois, where they don't have state inspection there. That car was unsafe to be on the road. Fun day. Made for a good review, but that was terrible. How are you from Minersville, Lake Winona?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, like...
Oh, you've definitely done that, though. Have you ever had Alaskan Beer Company?
No. What? The only Alaskan I had, like... Wait, is that any Alaskan beer company? Oh, yes. Midnight Sun Brewing in Anchorage. Love that to death.
This guy's like legit Alaskan.
For 5 months, but still. I was like big time Alaska. Fly-in village. No.
I go to school in Humboldt County. The farms up there and IBA is named after strains of pot. Yeah, there's a Humboldt Brewing beer that's made with hemp. Pains on testicular shaving. Hope you like being itchy. Maryland.
Yeah, if you do that, you got to keep it up. You got to be committed to that lifestyle.
Thoughts? Crab soup. You like crab soup, Natty Bellhorn? I'll come get you some crab soup. It's made with tomatoes.
Speaking of not Maryland, I really like that Chinese restaurant we went to in Plymouth that one time.
It was in Ithaca.
That was it.
No, check. There's a check involved.
No.
We went to it. When were you in Plymouth?
We were all in Plymouth. I went and looked at the Rock.
You looked at... All right.
We were in Plymouth. We went to your in-laws' house.
Was it Happy Garden? Or Asia Tasty? Or...
It was a Chinese restaurant. Barrett was there. We were all there.
In Plymouth, Massachusetts?
Yes.
I remember this.
What New Year? It was a New Year's.
We went for the wedding?
Maybe. They pointed out the cranberry bogs. Was it warm or cold? I can't remember. You described the place as a place that felt like you were dethroned mafia don.
Ah, the Ming.
Yeah.
Yes, the Ming Dynasty in Plymouth.
Yes.
Who said the Plymouth Rock is a big disappointment? Yeah, it is. It's not a huge rock. It's like this big.
And it was just started. It's just some guy invented it.
That's right. We went to the Ming. It was like the scene in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
It was like the bar in Goodfellas where he beats up Billy Bats.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Yes. We went to the Ming?
Yeah. It's your idea.
It must have been the night before the bachelor party. Or before the... It must have been like 2 nights before the wedding.
Yeah. Wait. Where did I sleep?
I was thinking, why were you in Plymouth?
Yeah, it had to be. Man, that was a weekend.
Dude, shout out to the Ming Dynasty in Plymouth, though. It's awesome.
Huh.
If you're in Plymouth and you're very disappointed by a rock, go to the Ming Dynasty. It's now the Sun Dynasty. But it's a Chinese restaurant that is like it's like Chinese restaurant in the back, but like Vegas Vegas diner up front.
Right.
It's got Kino and it's very old like 60s, 70s school Chinese.
It has those windows that start at the ceiling and curve down.
Like the Burger King in Cressona.
Yes.
They have the same windows. Get your fucking shine box. Yeah, exactly. That's the bar I'm talking about. Guess that rock did not rock. Okay, Dad.
You're a dethroned mafia don holding on to the last vestiges of his...
Opinions on New England IPAs? I like them. I like hazy. Here's what I don't like. I don't like a big thing of like shit at the bottom of my glass. And that's a thing that like Toppling Goliath, which is an Iowa brewery, they make Pseudo Sue, which you may have heard of. It's a thing that they do, and it's like they put all this hops in there and they make it hazy. Oh, it's hazy. And then it all like falls to the bottom, and you're drinking like at the end, you have this like sediment. You have to like decant it. I don't like that at all.
You can go to sleep so I can go to sleep.
Have you ever thought of reviewing a boat?
Yeah.
My parents have a boat.
They still have it.
Yeah, they're trying to sell it. Anybody want a boat?
I'll do it. I gotta find a way to film it. Farah has been really good at filming boats with a drone. See, if I film a boat, I'm gonna complain how I don't really like boats. And the reason I don't really like boats is because you think you get into a boat and there's no rules, but there's more rules.
There's a lot of rules.
Yeah, you can't just get in the boat and just go, bah! No, there's no wake zones, and you gotta go counterclockwise around a lake.
Yeah, maritime law is...
There's no hoisting the Jolly Roger.
No, review a plane. Did you do a plane?
2 planes. Technically, well, they're both aircraft. One powered, one not.
Oh, not a plane.
2017 Chevrolet SS manual. It's weird, but not regular.
It's backwards.
I want to get my hands on that car. Your dad should buy one, but your mom would have a heart attack.
A what now?
It's called a Chevrolet SS.
No.
It's...
He's full... Well, it's 3/4 life crisis, but...
Yeah.
He only likes Beamers. He buys them from Frank Shaneman.
Yeah.
Who is the only other billionaire in School County besides Dick Yangling. Dab, Mr. Regular. What are you, in 8th grade?
If you do a boat, it'll be consistent stream of Andy Samberg references. I don't get that reference. It's 2 a.m. You know what? It is 2 a.m.
I'm on a boat. Everybody, look at me. I'm sailing on a boat. Whoa, I'm on a boat. Take a good hard look. The motherfucking boat. Wow. I'm on a boat, motherfucker. Take a look at me. I'm straight floating on a boat. Deep blue sea. You can't stop me, motherfucker. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. And it's going fast. And I've got a nautical themed Pashmina Afghan. King of the world, like on a boat, like Leo. If you're on the shore, your show ain't Mayo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Regular Beer Reviews. I'm Brian.
Beepus.
That's Tom.
Like Clark.
Dr. Tom Mansell.
That's
Iowa State University.
Doctor. Wow.
Thank
There's
you very
that
much.
song. I'm on a boat. Yes, that's the boat. It features T-Pain, not Akon.
Thank you very much for watching us drink beer. I'm feeling okay right now, and we'll have a delightful sleep.
I'm not feeling okay at all.
Uh-oh.
Relax. It's fine.
Okay.
I think it was the yellow Listerine that did me.
What's the temperature? 9 degrees in Williamsport. You're gonna freak out, Jared, but I was in Williamsport 2 days ago at the Bullfrog.
It's about 9. 9 Fs here. There's 10 Fs here at this location.
Robert Burham says I'm going to need more cowbell.
Wow.
Thank you very much for watching this. We're going to stop the stream
2 roads
now.
is good. Stop streaming.
Stop streaming.
Regular
5,
videos.
4, 3, 2,
Good night,
1.
everybody.
Happy New Year.
Good night,